So, now that you're shut up, why don't you give the recap of what happened last time?
So here's the deal about my notes from last time. They're not good.
Good. That means they're short?
At all. So last time...
Unless Wayne has a pile of notes?
Wayne, do you have a pile of notes?
I have some notes.
Awesome.
Mabel was sweeping. Booker's walking across the street. Chad hands Dan a character sheet. Big Garrett, who's played by Brodor, and Little Garrett, played by Brandon, are watching. Jenny, played by Eric, is also watching. Worth, played by me, drops the guy that I was punching. Booker works for Treacle, but spent some time in jail. Little Garrett is a former prostitute. Jack helped her get the job. Big Garrett was Proust's nephew. Jenny was Alexander's sister. Worth is in love with Mabel. Can't even look her in the eyes, and he hates Reggie. Mabel's bipolar, apparently, because she goes off on a screaming, asking where we were. Everyone
screaming.
Oh no,
she was angry.
Screaming.
I believe your exact words, and I don't have the recording in front of me, so someone else will have to help me out. But being a proper cunt, I think is where your words.
Did I say that?
I think she's being a real proper cunt. I think it's exactly how you said it.
I think I said that.
No, I think you said real proper cunt.
No, my character called her a cunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we were trying to work in the word cunny. And I just said cunt.
So everyone in that group has a side hustle that they're not telling Treacle about. We have a brilliant plan to raid the Blue Coat Precinct 13. It could have gone better.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think so.
We killed the tall boy by snapping his neck, though, so we were successful.
So
the plan was perfect. It was get a firearms license or a tiger.
And you got it deputized.
Yes.
Right. In a delightful homage to the movie Precinct 13, we fought a tall boy where Chad could say out of one side of his mouth that combat's not his thing, and then on the other side of his mouth run a brilliant and exciting combat.
Now hold on. Who fought a tall boy? Because I'm pretty sure it was Eric and I.
That's already listed
I
as the
snapped the tall
topic
boy's
for
neck.
I know.
You walked up and did that.
I did that. That's why I was bringing it up.
Yes.
I think... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, yes, Wayne was like the king in Dragon Slayer. Dragon.
Oh, man.
Walked in all nice and slow, all the fighting's going on, walk up, snap.
Well, the delightful thing
Turned
was...
around, walked out.
Wayne's playing slow silver. He gets the job done when everyone least expects it.
That guy's not playing
The
Flash.
fight's over. Everyone's asleep.
At a shambling pace.
He finally moseys in.
He looks like he's walking nice and calm, but in reality, he was so beat up that he just couldn't move any faster.
His parole officer kicked his ass.
No, that's a true statement.
Yeah.
That game was really cool because our characters did a lot of really cool acrobatic shit.
Mhm.
That was dope.
Yeah.
One stress away from being taken out.
Yeah, from your balls being smashed.
Yeah, that to me is like that last game. That's really like a good Blades in the Dark flavor. You know, it's like this is you are desperate scumbag scoundrels doing it. It's just like, okay, we're outnumbered, we're outgunned, we're gonna die, we're gonna get our ass kicked, and we're doing this for 2 pennies. Fuck it. I am all in. Rage Vial Potion, go. And it's just like, it should be big moves.
He was walking slow and controlled because his balls were in pain. He was
like scooting his feet.
Like doing this cowboy thing.
That was something, though, that I was kind of worried about with what I was doing with this. My characters, I guess, was it's like, man, is that too gonzo? Like, is this too...
It's not...
Because I had to be careful. That character could very slapstick.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. But to me, and it's all different, right? To me, Blades in the Dark is not about, Confederate soldiers riding a Tyrannosaurus on the moon. It's not that, right? But it is the sort of, there's 20 guards, and they all want to kill you, and you have to, steal the brass ring, and it's just like, instead of like D&D, it's like, okay, well, you guys cast this spell, you guys do this, like, fuck it, I slash the rope holding the chandelier, smashing the 5 of the guys, and I swing down, and I'm sword fighting with the captain of the guard.
At risk of sounding pretentious and too much like an actual gamer who gave thought to this, the thing that I love about this mechanically is that in a game like Dungeons and Dragons, right, your hit points are resource, right? So being at full health or 25% health means nothing, right? There's no distinction other than I have lost 75% of resource X. Whereas this, however, the risk reward dynamic is, even though it's vague, it's at the same time better defined, because I know if I charge a troll in D&D, I might get crit, right?
Yeah.
But if I charge the troll in this situation, I can say, okay, Chad, I'm going to go in very cautiously. So I want to reduce the amount of damage that I would actually do because my main goal is to distract him, because I know that Eric's character is going to come around, and you get to you have a much better control of the throttle.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
D&D is how you interact with the world via the rules is I hit them with my thing. In Blades, it's a question. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish here? Well, I want to kill the troll. Well, let's think bigger.
Trying to roll a fucking 6.
Well, that's not a problem, Eric, but it's just like, no, we need to
that's a problem for me.
so that we can get through there. So I want to distract it so that, Eric can blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, well, let's use the rules to build that scene and to see what happens.
I feel like this has to be Wayne's nightmare game because it's that exact thing. Like, and you've played this game multiple times.
Yeah.
I have to
He's that
assume
character who died.
it had to have been very similar to how this went, right?
Oh, yeah. It gets frustrating. Well, that's why, like I said, where everyone else was taking special abilities, I've been pumping everything over into my
Attributes.
attributes, so I have more dice.
More dice,
So I can
yeah.
feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So that when you roll 4 1s instead of 2,
Everyone's like, whoa! And you still get that rush, right?
First of all, that was hype. So
Yeah, that was.
so I'm actually
that roll last game that was fucking awesome. That was an example of how the rules can be cool and make those moments. What were you gonna say, Mike?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I'm following the Wayne track because I don't have any resolve with this character, so I'm trying to get a point in resolve so I have a better up down.
All right, so that's what happened last game, but last game was like an interlude. So briefly, what happened the game before that?
So we, there's a police shakedown that was occurring outside of Treacle's confection shop, or whatever, I don't have the name. And, wow.
All right, challenge accepted, Wayne.
Let me see.
It's up now. Now I'm gonna start scrapbooking this shit.
Oh, it's one from the last time. This is the recap that
Oh.
you're telling right now. He told the last time that he had typed out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
So anyway, we roughed them up, got them out of the way, but while we're doing that, somebody sets off a bomb, not in, but underneath the candy shop, creates a compression wave, blows the windows out,
Candy in the street.
They
kids are
set
going
us up the bomb.
Yeah. And so we go looking down there and find out that somebody, and there's no way you could pull this off without a lot of planning, just to even know how the shit lines up.
Right.
But they blew a hole in the city's underground or sewers or whatever it is exactly. It's flooded now. And had dropped the safe down and then had put it on, I think it was a raft that was being pulled by something like goats or something,
Yeah.
the
There's a
giant
giant
hell
goats.
goats or
Yeah.
whatever.
Which are common draft animals in the set.
Yeah.
They're like goats the size of
Clydesdale
horses.
goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where we had left off was we were sneaking up following them, and my character, Dr. Proust, had walked forward, and who was it that was tailing me?
I was with you.
Okay, so Brandon's character, Reggie. Goodness gracious, you have thoughts. No, I'm serious.
Table tent.
Yeah, I that's how I was looking at this, and I'm like, oh goodness, I don't know what that is, but that's some kind of obscure font I'd have to download. And anyway,
It says
and
Reginald Reggie. I don't think that's hard to read.
from my angle it was. But anyway, and where we had left off was Proust was threatening them with a spirit vial that contains the spirit of a priest. from the church that he sort of crazy thinks he's from, but this guy actually was.
Right.
And he was disillusioned, or the spirit was disillusioned by having not made it to any afterlife. And, but it's just like a dead man switch because Proust is standing over brickwork, so they kill him, the file drops, the ghost is free.
Yep. And you're holding it with one of the electrophasmic batteries that's
so
casting light through, but
just
the
so
light
it
is
glows so they see
but
what it is.
But it's interacting with the spirit, and it's like casting all kind of fucked up patterns and faces and shit on the walls and the light.
And I didn't write it down, but I know you brought us back at the end of last session to those characters, and they had a whisper that stepped up and did something.
Not a whisper, but yes. And somebody, there was something that
I thought it
tapped.
was a leech, actually.
Yes, it
no,
is.
no,
Yep,
whisper.
is a leech. So, and then something tapped on Jack's shoulder, right?
Yeah, and said, like, hey there.
Right. All right. So, since there were two, I have two rewards because we don't have two composers. One is a reroll, and then one is 2 coin, which is actually a lot of money for your personal character.
Booyah. I'll take the coin.
Money? All right.
I'll take the
He
reroll.
said, booyah.
You just, you shook out the couch cushions, and you're like, oh, hey,
Well, actually, it kind of makes sense because when the
because all the money you're stealing from Treacle.
no, that's my other character. With
why not
Proust,
both characters?
with Proust, somebody had the bag of our money and it spilled it, and everyone was also up to their eyeballs and elbows in nonsense. Proust was the only one that picked up the money.
Ah, yeah.
Right.
Well, I
Lebowski.
had reasons.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Did you have a copy of this?
The Jawbreakers, the
That was our group. I printed what was out there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was the most
the
current one or not.
Okay.
From it?
And is this the one we bought? The dangerous
Water.
hunt, skirmish, or rack up to a maximum of 3.
Doing some bookkeeping now for this.
Yeah. So, okay, apparently, because of the Bravos, all of us are allowed to add 1 point to either hunt, skirmish, or rack.
Yep.
Yes,
when
we
you
did
make the
that.
character.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so since these characters are already made, we don't get that.
No. You get it. Like,
okay.
If you have not given yourself that
Yeah, I
yet, you
haven't.
get it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have one. Because, hunt is 0,
Yeah, 'cause
skirmish is 0, and...
I think when we
Yeah, Wreck
did
is 0,
that,
so I
Dan
can't do
wasn't
it.
there that week. So the rest
yeah.
of us
Okay.
did it with our characters.
Yeah. So give yourself one of those.
What is he doing to my toilet seat?
The thing is, he's
He
downstairs.
said he was getting water.
He said he was getting water.
It's like, we're starting right. I gotta go get some water. Like, you
He's top
motherfucker.
He's getting it out of the top deck.
Right. A conserving water guy show. It's not a fetish. Why is your water blue?
Is that electric blue?
It makes my mouth
In
tingle.
real loose terms, I can gather what skirmish is. What is hunt? Is that just to stalk somebody?
It's you can remember things have multiple definitions. Hunt,
Right. Yeah, I know it's flexible, but what's their
hunt,
shooting.
hunt a target, gather information about its location and movements, attack with precision shooting from a distance.
Okay, I'm gonna go skirmish then. It's more Proust thing, I guess. I don't know the either of them really are.
Booker's
We
big
get a
thing
free
would be
dot.
hunt.
What? I only heard part of the conversation.
I think you already have it.
You got it when you made your character.
Okay,
Or when we,
Yeah,
That's what I needed to know.
I wasn't.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't at the game. Or okay, so all right, I'm so good. I'm ready to go.
All right. Is everybody ready? Everybody got to go get some water out of the toilet or anything?
and come right out the toilet.
All right. So, you guys are in the sewer. Camera flies back from the sweet shop from Babel and the cohort and the guys who are actually making money and stealing it from Treacle. Because apparently everyone's stealing money from Treacle. And, flies back down through the, into a manhole, through the sewer, past this sort of shimmering fog-like shape that is touching Jack on his shoulder from behind. Camera flies past Alexander, flies past Reggie. I think it was Reggie and Proust?
Yeah.
Flies past Treacle, and then Reggie is there, kind of, looking around the corner. Proust is. You guys in back see this thing. You hear this voice, and up ahead of you, you see this just sickly, unearthly glow and this weird sort of faces and shit displayed on the walls of the sewer as Proust just starts yelling some shit at these guys, and you hear people yelling and running, and that's when this, you guys have been in the game for a while, leech when you see one, because they're not like slides or cutters or whatever people who blend. I mean, these leeches are fucking weird. Not like Alexander. Alexander is more of a tinker leech. He's just kind of a nerdy guy. This is one of the doctor, chemist, alchemist.
Experimental.
Yeah, these are the weird
like
fuckers.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, without any Dr. Jekyll, just Mr. Hyde
Right.
and the weirdness. Is wearing a mask, not like a spirit mask, but wearing some sort of steampunky goggle type mask, a hood, this leather coat, long coat that seems to be oiled in some way, and is holding a vial. And as Proust is about making to throw down his spirit grenade, essentially, this guy just says, "Dream time," and then he drops his thing. The moment it hits, like, the entire sewer is just filled with something. Like, you can smell it and you can taste it, and just as quickly as it just instantly is there, it almost immediately goes away. One of the guys on the thing, like, Dr. Brown, you are there, you're ready to rock, and even it kind of hits you, and you're even in your like state of just, I'm gonna fuck these guys up. You're just like, what the fuck was that? That's when you hear one of the guys on the boat go, "Oh no!" All of you hear a rumbling. Now, at this point, if you want to do something, you can do it. Let me get my thing.
I'll let you scene set before I start blabbering.
So now I'm just going to step on you. This is the me show.
This is a narrative.
This is the me show.
Fully narrative game.
Right. This is nobody needs dice. I'll just tell you what happened.
Okay.
But
Thanks, Paul.
yeah. So anyway, all of you experience that. Like, even Jack, I don't know if you're about to freak out because of the.
Oh, I'm definitely about to freak out.
Right. Even that stops. As soon as this gas just hits you, all of you are like, what the fuck was that? Like, there's something wrong. It felt like something hit you and something is wrong. And that's when you hear a rumbling. And you feel this rumbling. And all of a sudden you hear it, and it's like a wave crashing into a rock wall. And it's like a train going through the sewers. And all of a sudden, all of the brickwork, the ceiling, the floors, the walls, all the brickwork crash forward, all of it. All the bricks go flying towards you, and water is pounding them, flying them to you. The bricks fly all past you, and the water hits all of you. And it just is rushing the sewer. All of the stonework, the ceiling, everything. You feel like the whole city is just racing past you, and you just feel it. And the water hits you, and you feel the intensity of the water blasting you, yet you don't move. And the water doesn't move you. And you are completely, in an instant, completely underwater, and the entire sewer, and as if the entire city has been inundated, and you are completely underwater in this wrecked sewer. You can see, if you could see the sky, you can't, because you are all underwater. There is the wreckage of the city, and the sewer opened up around you as fish and boats and wreckage and everything flow past you with great intensity and speed. And then you're all standing there. And then all of a sudden, you hear, maybe a little too much. And then all of a sudden, the water flows back the other way as if the tide is coming out. Your coat, your hair, everything is flowing. All the brickwork is flowing past you. And it is just a wreckage of the city is around you. And you see you are on a beach. There are pieces of building and sewer and brickwork and dead fish and smashed boats and just the remains of the city as it is like a fallen Atlantis just smashed into this vast dark ocean. And then to your left down this beach, you see a lighthouse and the light slowly turning.
Okay, I spent a lot of time on the ocean.
You're also kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, exactly. But does the water that hits sewer water, seawater?
Seawater.
Okay. And the beach, the lighthouse, does it ring any bells with me? No. Okay.
It looks as if the city was smashed by a great tidal wave, completely destroyed, and then the pieces of it washed out into the ocean, and you are standing on the beach. Standing before you is
Fucking brother's face.
Well, because
He's just like, what the fuck?
yeah, no, it's very disturbing.
Yeah,
because
is.
in Alex's mind, there's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not real,
Oh,
but everything about me says it's real.
Yeah, it's
So
so
it's very confusing.
real.
Yeah.
When this first happens, the first thing that Treacle does is he grabs a hold of Jack and Alexander and cups them in to try and block the water with his body. And as we're not moving, he just is yelling at them, "It's okay! It's okay!"
Meanwhile, Alex has a look of just, well, this is where I die.
Yeah. I reach for Proust, but I see the water and I'm just like, I hold on.
yeah.
He's
It's just
way
your,
away
your
from me.
first, instinct. Even Proust, because it like Alexander, it's not real, but oh my god, it's so real. There's that even the crazy piece of you is like, here I die, sort of thing, and then it floats back.
Do we see the other group on the beach?
Okay, what you see on the beach, because it takes a minute, right? It not only recovering from this, but for your mind to you like, where am I? And processing that you are looking at the city of Duskwall. Like you see a smashed tower, you see, here is the wreckage. Like often there's the wreckage of the great college. There's this, but it's all just smashed, and your mind is like kind of piecing this back together. And when you kind of process this, you see in front of you, like in front of Proust, there is a small child about ankle deep in the water, kind of bending down and crying. Looks like probably about 6 years old.
I start yelling for Mabel because I think the city's been destroyed. So I'm like yelling for. I start yelling everybody's name. I start yelling Jack, Alexander. I start yelling for everybody to see if anybody made it.
The other group isn't there, just the kid.
From what you see,
I'm looking back over my shoulder to see what is touching me.
you don't. You turn. You kind of like gently. I assume not like get off me,
Right.
but kind of like move Treacle away a little, and you look behind you tentatively, and there's nothing behind you. But then in your other ear, you're like this, other ear, you hear a whisper go, Jack, you're in a bad way right now. You're in a bad way, man.
Proust! Proust! What's going on?
You lack faith.
You're about, we'll say, 50 feet away.
Okay.
Like your original position's in the sewer now, but the sewer's gone.
He's still
I lack knowing what the fuck is going on.
Do they see each other?
Yeah, because the sewers, there are pieces and chunks of wall. It is not just like a flat beach, but the ruins of it, you guys can
Something is whispering in my ear, and the city's destroyed. This is some of the creepy shit.
So we can hear each other screaming.
Yes.
So like me yelling everybody's name, no one responds, or
I don't know.
I yell over here, and when Jack pushes me away, he just two hands Alex and is just like clutching him.
and I do see. Them.
Yeah, you do see it. And they were yelling, like you were yelling. Later on, you probably think of, everybody's just in shock. Yeah,
Right.
it's just noise and, okay, they heard you but didn't process it.
Okay. I didn't know if this was like an illusion where we don't see anybody, but we can like hear. And,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to break the vial in my own hand, use compel, and I'm telling the spirit, take the body of the dreamer, the dream master. He is yours now. He is beyond redemption.
Roll.
So
Did we figure out if we? Yeah,
It's
you
a
have to
tune.
roll for it. You have to
It's a
roll
tune.
for a compel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
roll your
it's a tune, and a push is that one stress or two.
Push is two.
Two.
It's on the sheet, yes. Too.
Okay.
I'm going to add a push. Give me 3 dice on this.
I need some sweet fresh recovery.
All right. I have started a clock. By the way, I am not telling you what this clock is for.
Hey,
Got a 6.
Of course you did.
fuck you, Chad.
Wiki.
Shots fired. Tell me again what you're compelling him to do.
I am compelling him to possess the guy that just dropped the dream gas.
So you break the bottle. Okay, so I assume something. I'm just going to clarify it. You do not do the spirit grenade with the battery. You just pop the vial.
Yeah,
Right,
I open the spirit vial, let
Yeah.
the spirit out, and I drank the spirit along with the electrophasm. I just drank it all. I drank the seawater. I drank the ocean.
Yeah.
No, I compel him to possess the guy that dropped the dream gas to take his body.
He
Or is this going to screw with your stuff?
absolutely not.
Okay.
No. So that's the thing about Blades in the Dark, right? It's you're not supposed to take tons of notes, and it's supposed to change and alter and
Okay,
stuff. And
okay.
I have to be able to deal with this. And so, no,
Okay.
this is great. But there is going to be a problem, not a complication for you, right? So you successfully do it,
Right.
and he's like, he doesn't do this, but like, yes, sir, and here I go. He is going to run into a problem.
Okay.
But you were successful, sort of thing.
Okay.
He comes out, and does this guy, do you know him or not?
No, what we established is
You just pulled one down, and it's...
I know who he is in the sense of we did have a brief interaction,
But this isn't like your sister's brother.
right. I don't know him personally, so I do know who what he is. He is the wandering ghost of a dead priest of once guy without the book. I forget what it is.
Yeah, I just because, like I said, he's going to run into a problem, and I don't know if he's going to be antagonistic to you or not. So, but he's not.
Yeah, he's from the closest thing there is to a good god in this setting, or that's the religion he's from, and he was a priest of that who basically got stranded upon death and is now depressed, frightened, trying to find a way back, but is not like some profoundly enraged spirit.
Not yet.
Well, I'm not saying shit doesn't change,
Right.
but I'm just saying that was his disposition
Yeah.
at the moment.
Which is good because when the spirits appear, they're usually rage, crazy sort of thing. And since he's like a little bit more centered, that's why he's not. Yeah.
Well, and that's what Proust is effectively part of, is a possession cult. So,
Right.
Now, Proust isn't possessed, but
Yeah.
yes, at the moment he is not possessed. But his boss is.
Yeah. He goes, that sounds like a plan. Yep. And he kind of turns around. He looks a little past you and to your right, goes, I don't know if your friend's having a problem or not, but off I go. And he kind of like, he goes like this.
Like, he can't move.
No, it appears to you like he isn't moving. He's just doing this.
Okay. So to explain to the listeners at home,
He's lagging.
yeah, Chad's doing a like it's a running motion, like he's like can't complete the running motion. So it's like he's like pumping his fist while running, but his fists are only just kind of like going forward 3 frames, rewinding 3 frames, going forward 3 frames, rewinding 3 frames. So
disconnected from
he
gets off 50 feet off, then rubber bands back.
he kind of does that for a moment, and then he stops, and he's like, and he's like right in front of you doing this, and then he like kind of turns, and he's just like moving like this. It appears that he's walking, but he's not moving from your perception, and he's just like and if you wait, after a moment, he comes back to you and goes,
I offer him the spirit vial. I do not compel him. I say to him, I'd hate for you to have to dissipate. I will find you a vessel, but you must have faith. I'm simply holding the spirit bottle.
He looks at you and he goes, spirit bane. And then he gets in the bottle.
Okay. I reseal the bottle. Okay. I'll pass by like somebody else.
No, it's you and me all night. These guys
okay.
are. You think these guys are paying to be here? Fuck that. No.
So, yes.
There's no recap given.
Oh yeah, shit. We gotta get Wayne in. On
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I've got years of shit built up.
Don't leeches use spirits for like a lot of shit? So,
They can.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, Whispers and Leeches, it's a very tiny Venn diagram, but they do kind of overlap in some of their flavor stuff.
So like really the only thing that deals with the other is one of the other.
Yeah.
So,
And remember though too that there are different flavors of leech and different flavors of whisper.
yeah, of course. So this guy might just be, he's just able to deal with it.
Maybe.
He said spirit. He's wearing a spirit bane charm
Yeah,
to
spirit
protect
charm.
himself
Yeah,
from being.
which some of you guys have, others
I
do
do.
not.
I actually do.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm sorry.
I took
I
it when
have
we summoned the guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually have a Demon Bane. But, yeah.
But you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you
you
don't.
have the mask and
Yeah,
that sort
they
of thing.
can't. Well, it's very
it's-
hard for them to possess me.
And they can push past spirit banes, and demons can push past spirit banes.
Demon
Do you
Banes.
know Craig?
Yeah.
It's empty. Yeah.
There's actually,
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right on the other side of your name.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
whole
Sorry.
pile of them.
So anyway, yeah, you hear this in your head, and you hear. By the way, sorry, I forgot something. When you say that to the ghost, all of you hear it, even though you say it like you're 50 feet away from them.
Yeah.
You say it very, you're not like, oh, you're just like,
Yeah, Proust is very understated.
Our senses are heightened.
I don't know, are they?
Well, so that triggers me, right? Because
Right.
right now, I'm fascinated with the destruction. Like, I'm not even looking at the lighthouse. I'm
Right.
looking at the destroyed city.
Yeah.
And marveling at the power of nature and just wishing that the human mind could make something
And then
that
you
could
hear
do that.
Proust.
And then I'm like, but I look, he's way over there.
Yeah.
So then I look at the White House. I look at the lighthouse and I squint and see if I can have better visual acuity at this distance than I normally would. If that what I'm saying.
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
it makes sense.
Trying to like focus.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No. I if you want, I'll give you a study roll just to see if you notice anything.
Oh yeah, I'll take a study roll. I'm not going to push or anything. 'Cause like I
Right,
said, I
right.
haven't had,
And if you get a bad,
I haven't had opportunity
do
to
we-
relieve stress, so I don't have the. I
do
don't
we
have the-
remember what position we were in? Were we in controlled, risky? We'll say risky, unless you guys.
When we last left off, we were in Desperate. Because I was stacking XP on that.
Okay, so here's what I say: is while it is the same scene, it is sort of a new day, so to speak. What's the group consensus? Do you guys want to start this in risky and kind of build up? Because I will say that what the leech did is kind of a big reset button, so I'm cool with that. Or do you want to be in like this is a holy fuck guys desperate situation? It's up to you.
The way I think about it is if I would assume a lot of us understand at least, well, maybe not all of us, I guess. We're not like super into this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't quite understand. But the fact that we most likely understand that's not real, we would also understand that we're vulnerable. So I don't know. I think it is.
I think desperate is probably
desperate makes sense because
Jack is acting like it's desperate whether it is or not. Because
Yeah.
he's freaking out.
we could be killed in this state. I'm assuming.
Well,
Here goes. All right. Two. Okay. So, and before that, I was going to say you're just trying to look at something, so I'm not going to have your eyeballs pop out on a complication. I'm just going to say, you don't want
You focus on your eyes.
I literally
then he's like,
I rub my eyes like I'm trying to get sleep or
and you
whatever.
have your brass knuckles on when you do it. And you punch yourself.
Is this whole world like super dark? I mean, it's a lighthouse.
Okay.
Maybe the lighthouse is blinding him.
Well, yeah. So, but no, you don't see anything. No crazy complications, but no XP on it. It's just a DSC.
Okay.
Do I have to off the cuff think of something extra to tell you?
And luckily, you do not.
Luckily, I do not. So, as to the question of whether it is super dark, yes, it is super dark. Not supernaturally dark. It's the darkness that you guys are all used to.
Right.
It's perpetual,
Okay.
but it is like that. There is no additional.
It feels like nighttime.
We used to joke in our other game, there is more dark and less dark.
Yeah.
And it is currently more dark. There's a lighthouse going.
I get out my lantern.
Oh, shit. Jack. You hear,
Oh, we already had lanterns.
like, Jack,
I don't think you have to take one.
you
Because we
need to
already
calm
take
your
it.
shit
did we?
down.
Okay.
You're in a bad place right now. Jack.
Who are you?
You guys hear him growling.
We don't hear who's talking to him.
No, you didn't.
Jack, it's okay.
I've got my.
How is this okay?
I don't even know how to make it to him. Well, I tried to walk towards
Yeah.
him. Can I move?
Yes.
Okay.
You feel like you're walking on a beach. Wet sand.
And Jack is looking around everywhere.
Okay. I'm trying to make it to him as best I can.
Jack, listen, Jack. You killed me. I forgive you. It's okay. It wasn't an accident, but I get it. You need to just calm your shit right now, man.
And we don't hear that, right? That's just
None of you hear that. So there is a ghost talking to Jack.
Yeah.
None of you hear the ghost. You do hear Jack's responses, no matter how far away you
Because
are.
of the spirit mask, do I see the ghost? Even if I don't hear it?
No.
Okay.
You are
Well, we're an hallucination, so
right.
I'm not seeing
There's
real. I'm seeing
there's a layer.
Yeah.
You got ghost blinders on.
But I'll give you a hint though. Don't assume that you can't.
Okay.
So there's a puzzle here.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's totally fine.
You need to calm your shit, Jack.
How do I stop this?
I don't fucking know, but freaking out isn't going to do it.
You said there was a kid that is there
Yes.
crying?
Yep. About
Boy.
10 feet in front of Proust.
Boy, girl.
Boy. About 6 years old.
I start storming towards the kid.
Okay.
Storming.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Do I see him running? I mean, I know it's super dark, but like...
No, you're up at... And so remember, too, that, it's super dark.
Yeah.
But you guys live in a world of darkness, so super dark to them is a little different than super dark to us.
Yeah.
And you also have sources of light, too. Alex has a better source of light.
We have lanterns. When we jumped down that hole, I think one of the options was we have lanterns.
Yeah.
And he'd given us the chemical thing, too.
Yeah, and every, 10 seconds, everything is bathed in blue electric light.
So I'm going to kind of snap together. So I think the order of business is deal with that, pointing at the kid, and then go there and point at the lighthouse.
Treacle has his eyes closed, and he's got, when Alex starts to walk away, he just bundles the back of his shirt in his hand and just follows along. He's like, if I can't trust my eyes, I can't trust anything.
Treacle, you hear, no one else hears. You think it's just your eyes you can't trust. So,
For sake of the mic, do you think it's just your eyes you can't trust?
Who are you, kid?
the kid,
What's going on
the
here?
kid is like crying and crying.
Baby.
And he's just crying. You like grab him?
Yeah.
Okay, you grab him, and he's a kid. He's looking up at you, and when he's dressed as a kid, right? Street urchin type thing. And when you grab him, you pick him up. I mean, it's nothing, right? He's like a 5-year-old kid, and you're this big strong guy. You pick him up, and he's wearing an adult, like, longshoreman type trench coat, right? Like 5 feet long.
Like he's swimming in it.
Like he's swimming in it. He was not wearing that when he was crying. He just looked like a normal kid when he was crying.
Is he still a kid?
He's still a
So
kid.
if I okay, I see that and I'm coming. I'm like, Jack, what the hell's wrong with you? I try to push him off the kid because it's a kid.
He's not a normal kid.
We don't know
Gotta
what
be
the hell's
behind
going
all
on.
this.
Thank you. Did you just shit out a box of apples? What
No,
the
this
fuck?
was sent to me for Father's Day, and we don't eat
I was
this kind
like,
of stuff.
what the fuck? We don't need this kind of stuff.
We don't need
It's
this kind of
Eric
stuff.
Frew left the room for
And
5
nuts.
seconds and comes back with an orchard
God.
full of fucking pears and apples.
that his kind doesn't eat.
No, they would go bad. So
I am
brought them
all
here.
about pears.
I love pears too.
What the fuck?
What?
It's a good thing there's plenty of pears.
From a place
You
called.
don't eat cookies either?
No, I figured that.
Yeah.
Harry and David.
Harry and David, yeah.
I want to hear about your Harry David.
Harry David.
Okay,
I don't
so
want to hear about it.
when you grab him, right, and you're like pushing him away.
Yeah, I try to get him off the kid.
For a moment, you hear, just like we practiced, you have to. Now, this is a different voice, right? This is not your. I don't have a menagerie of voices here, but you hear a different voice saying, "It's just like we practiced. You have to focus. You have to stop crying, and you have to kill them. You need to get the weird guy first." And you're like, "Oh, what did you do?" And you just hear this voice go, "Not again. No, I don't like this, Samuel. I don't like it. I don't like it." And then you push him away. No dog butt.
All about the dog.
So, what is? I'm going to go around the table. What is in this moment everyone doing?
All right, so someone says something right in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
My first reaction is to swing an elbow.
Okay. You're on Alexander.
Right, I've got so my left hand is bunched up in the back, like between his shoulder blades, just kind of like balled up in his shirt. And
Alexander, take a minor harm. You just got jacked in the face. You turn around, he's behind you.
what am I holding on to?
Nothing. He was holding on to you.
Oh, nose is
And
bleeding.
you hear,
Jesus
you
Christ.
just hear this laughing.
All right, I turn.
You can resist that if you want.
No.
Okay.
I put my hand. I open my eyes then because I hear Alexander react, and I've got blood dripping off my elbow, and I say, "You shouldn't stand so close."
God, I love bad guys.
All right.
What are you doing there, you mook?
Well,
You hurt my elbow.
I'll say that's excellent advice. And I'm going to start walking toward the lighthouse.
Okay. Okay, so you are trying to figure out what shit's going on.
Well,
Yeah.
I see him moving. I elbowed him, but I thought I had a hold of him, but I had a hold of nothing. I'm just going to follow right behind Alex.
Okay. You two are headed to the lighthouse.
Yeah, so I've got lantern in one hand. My other hand is in my coat on a pistol.
Okay.
Now, it may or may
You
not
feel
be.
a hand on your dick.
It may or may not be a pistol. We don't know yet.
No, we know.
But we know I have a
We
lantern.
know what it is.
We know exactly. You need to turn it up.
So I,
Not turn it down.
so I grab my 22 caliber Derringer.
Wow. That's a cold shit.
And it goes off in your
It's
hand.
an over-under barrel.
It goes off in your hand. Oh no. All those bullets are sticky.
It's spider webby.
Yeah, that's fire.
Right, it's not a kid, it's a creature. It's being told to kill Doc.
So
And
I'm
I'm going to try to get to the
the
kid.
kid.
And wrap
I'm holding the kid. I'm trying to I'm putting him at arm's length, trying to keep him back.
You're holding the kid, and you hear, nobody else hears. Do it now. Do it now. You can't do it.
Do I recognize the voice or anything like that?
You were up by Proust. You do recognize the voice. He did not. It's the leech.
So it's the leech. Okay.
Yep. And then
I dropped the kid. I'm like,
yeah.
like
You
That's my chance. I want to hit the kid like it's a pinata, give me candy.
Okay.
Because I'm going to think that voice like came
Like
from...
it's got plot.
And you know what? I'm freaked out. I'm pushing myself.
All right.
Brilliant.
2 6s.
Oh my god!
That's a crit, right?
Yeah.
Reggie, take a major harm. No.
I honestly expected
No.
that.
Major harm.
Yeah. No, that's anyway. Okay. So what happens, you connect, right? Like it's a kid and you just jack it. You hit him as hard as you can and the kid just puffs into smoke, right? He's just like poof, like this. And the smoke kind of is ashy. The smoke is
That's
kind
my
of
mom's name.
wow.
Reminds me of the stupid meme I saw. It shows a picture of the character from Watchmen, and it says, "I really love Rorschach, but why does his face have to look like my parents fighting?"
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry, Jen.
That's all right. You hit him as hard as you can, and like I said, he goes into this puff of ashy smoke, like big flakes of ash, kind of suspend in the air, and you hear this like this, and the ash is kind of in the form of a guy, and then you all hear, "Okay, Samuel, let's have it your way." And all of a sudden, the ash kind of not congeals. It kind of comes together into the form of a man, of a very large, of a 10-foot tall man.
Great.
That is standing over you, and he's rubbing his gut like, "Oh God, that hurt."
Good.
And then he rears up and he kicks you, like in the gut. This 10-foot tall guy kicks you right in the gut. Oof. I'm starting another clock, and I'm putting 2 on it. So you're going to take a minor harm. Do you wish to resist it, or
I do.
You know what's remarkable about scale?
Let's do an armor.
I went to the hardware store today, and I bought baseboard and crown molding in 8-foot strips. And I stood in my foyer with the 8-foot strip, and I looked up at it, and I said, "That's 8 feet. That's shorter than a fucking ogre." I was like, we have no idea what we're talking about.
Right,
when we get
I'm going to take this troll out. I charge him with my dagger and my loot. And it's
There's
just
no
like,
way.
no,
There's no fucking
no, you
way.
wouldn't even get
I
within...
turn the other direction.
Right, yeah.
Traditional trolls are fucking stories tall.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to do an armor use instead of...
Okay, you take the armor, and and this is what you see. You see this huge 10-foot tall guy, basically just rear back and kick Jack right in the gut, and it lifts him off the ground, and you hear this clang, and you know that he's going to have to replace that armor when he gets back. It's probably dented and like digging into him. You've been there before. Not a 10-foot tall guy, but ooh,
I know that sound all too well.
right, yeah. And Jack goes flying back. By the way, your crit did do that. So, and he's like going towards Jack, like he's gonna like pick him up. What is everyone doing? You two are going towards the lighthouse.
I'm going to do the same.
Go towards the lighthouse? Okay. You quickly catch up with these two. What are you doing?
I'm going to fight this apparition, or whatever it could be.
I get any more.
Skirmish this fool. Hey, 6, baby.
All right. You come up behind him, and he's rearing back to kick Jack, and his big, huge leg, and you just grab it on the upswing, and then you just keep going forward with it, and making a face plant to the sand. Yeah. And so this guy is down, and you did that. But it's like a rumble, right? It's not like, oh, haha, boom, I got you.
There's weight to it.
Yeah, there's weight. You're on sand, and you stumble, and you actually kind of fall into Jack, who's getting up. Like you guys don't, tumble down, but like Jack, Jack kind of catches you, and he's like, "We're on a beach."
Yeah, exactly.
From here to eternity.
It's so romantic.
I know, right? Let's kill this guy. Just fuck.
This dream is great.
After that,
that takes about a minute.
Presumably, we still can hear everything going on, regardless of distance.
Yeah, is it still just as loud like that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, then once I hear that escalating, I'm going to turn around. I'm not going to take a step toward them, but I'm going to turn around and stop progressing toward the lighthouse. I just want to survey the situation and see what precisely is going on. So obviously, you've already filled that part in.
Yep. You two, only you two, hear this, and it's the ghost that was talking to Jack earlier. And it's just like, okay, guys, I felt that. You can't punch this problem away. You're not going to beat this guy. You just can't punch him. He's not really here. But I felt it.
All I know how to do. Raise both my fists up like my big meat hooks and try to bring him down on its head.
Okay. You don't roll for that.
Okay.
You do, and it just goes through and dissipates. And when he separates from you, you hear, it's like, Reggie, come on, man.
Hi. Where's that page that has all the things that everything does?
I'm not that much fatter than you, but look at her feet. Your feet are so thin and mine are so fat.
Are you two comparing fat feet?
No, he has thin feet, I have fat feet.
So
He has piano player feet.
I do.
I don't
probably
have
could
a
play
tune.
something with my feet.
Anyone can roll unskilled.
If I had hair on my feet, they'd be
Go
hot
to
feet.
take the lowest.
now to attune, can I use attune to like
Anyone can
focus?
use it too.
Well, I guess I kind of attuned with him, so I'm a little bit familiar.
So attune, anyone can use attune like a whisper can.
You're just not great at it.
Only the whisper is better and gets more benefits and powers out
And
of
it's
it.
dangerous for people that are.
Yeah. But anyone, just like Alexander, can roll skirmish, even though he's not trained
points in it. Yeah.
Right, you don't have any points in it, but you do know how to throw a punch. Remember that the spiritual realm is real. It's not some like theoretical thing or something that crazy people believe or it's only part of this one religion. This is day-to-day life. Of course, the milkman comes and delivers my milk, and I have a job with Uncle Treacle, and ghosts are real.
So I'm thinking of it as like, since I know that he's done something to us because I've heard his voice.
Yeah.
Clearly we're in the same. Like I'm realizing like something's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We knew he was a leech, right? Because we've come across those.
Yeah. And Reggie is more the thinking fighter.
Yeah.
And Jack is the
Big dumb muscle.
Yeah. So I'm thinking because of, talking to Alexander about things like this, because I'm sure he kind of maybe gushes about things he
Oh my
thinks
god,
about.
he doesn't fucking shut up.
And with Prouse talking about ghosts,
Oh my god, he never shuts up.
I'm thinking maybe the only way out of this is to focus myself.
Yeah, and that's how you think about it. You don't think of like, I am going to do the science of attunement. That is more Alexander and Prouse. Mm-hmm. But you think it's like, okay, I'm gonna reach deep within myself and kind of push.
I'm going to try and get myself out of this.
Yeah. Okay. So you can roll a tune.
Yeah.
You don't have a tune.
Nope.
So it's to take the lowest, right, guys?
Yeah.
Now you can push yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm not mistaken,
That's
pushing.
just one die, and it's
But doesn't that push you to have die? There was something weird about it. Yeah.
If you push yourself, you don't have to roll to take the lower. You just roll the one.
One, and then take the higher. And then, so if you push yourself, you take stress.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to.
And someone can assist.
I'll give you one of my free assists.
Nice.
My foresight. So I can see Reggie kind of doing this, and I'm like, you can do it. Just block it all out.
So assistant.
Clear the mechanism.
I get 2 dice.
Well, now you get 2 dice.
Okay.
And even though Uncle Treacle is like, way down range,
He can hear me. Like clear as day.
you can hear him, and everybody hears it. Everybody hears what you just said.
Nice.
You, and then that clears that. Okay, so Jack, you do your hammer smash, and it goes right through him. And the guy who is physical as all get out and 10 feet tall and insane, kind of goes woof into ash again, and then kind of coalesces back, and then Reggie is back there, and you're just kind of like you did your thing with the flip, and you're like, the thing you notice is this guy just ate shit.
Yeah.
Like he just ate shit. No one's getting up from that. You're gonna follow stomping his teeth out, except Jack hit him, you nailed him, and he isn't hurt.
Right.
And none of this is real. And you're like, this is okay. And the ghost just is like, okay, you got to do something different. And then, Uncle Treacle's like, just reach down in there, you got it. And you don't even know exactly what you did. And you just kind of like close your eyes and you rear back for this hard punch. And it's like you're punching through molasses. And you hear like the rush of water. You hear, it's like you're underwater, and that sort of clunking, resonant sound. And you're like pushing through this resistance. And your punch is real slow, and then you get right up, you open your eyes, you get right up to him, and you just kind of go, boop, boop. And there's a flash of light across the beach. It just goes woof, like that. And if anyone wants to roll to see if they could see anything in that flash, they can, but remember, you are in a desperate situation. There could be consequences. And
I shield my eyes.
okay. And so you two did this, right?
Yeah.
Which does that.
This also plays into because
And the guy's gone.
the next ability I want to take is the Ghost Fighter. So I kind of took that as like I'm learning from
This
I'm how
plays
to do that.
right into that.
Yeah.
That is.
That's very cool.
All right. Is anybody going to try to study or notice anything in this boom flash real quick?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
All right. So study or what?
Basically what happened is there is a flash of light when Reggie took this guy out.
Right.
And either you're one of two kind of people. You're either like Alex, who went like this and saw the back of his arm, or you're like, what just happened? And so you're either going to see something, notice something in that split second, or you're getting flashbanged in the face.
Okay.
So it would be like a study or hunt or something like that.
Right. I'll do study.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is essentially trying to. It's almost like a projector, and it like kicks out for like a moment. I'm trying to look between the frames and see in the light of what's actually around me as opposed to the movie.
Okay.
So I got one dice. I will push myself.
Okay. I'm going to say I don't think anyone can help him because I don't know how you guys would help him because it is a split second. Obviously, anyone can make an argument to help him to give him an extra die, but I don't really see it.
What is the cost of aiding? Is it one stress?
One stress for the person aiding.
Whatever way makes sense. It
is literally boom like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely just like.
All right, so maybe whatever you see some flash and you're like, he was to the left.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
5.
5 and desperate. Okay, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer a severe harm, a serious complication occurs, or you have reduced effect. All right. I am going to say you suffer a severe harm. So you're going to do it, but your severe harm is that you're blinded. It is like everyone is like this, and you looked right into the flashbang.
Right.
Now you can resist it.
Right.
We can say armor. I don't.
put your shades on.
Yeah.
Bloop. Thug life.
That's right.
Treacle's never without his shades.
Yeah, I'll resist that.
Okay.
Now I resist that with
5 stress or 6 for a resisting.
It's 6. You
6.
roll one die and you.
Yeah. So you have 6 virtual stress right now.
Right.
And then minus, let's see, for 1d for each attribute. So
And then whatever your largest number is, you take that off of the 6 stress.
so he rolls, so the attributes are the up and down.
Yes.
So he gets 3. Is that what it's saying?
I pick an attribute and then I get a number.
Is
of
it
dice.
largest or is it
Oh no,
weakest?
does he pick an attribute?
It's 1d6 for each attribute dot. So he picks an attribute that he's going to resist with. Then you take the highest die.
So like you could say resolve, I just kind of muscle through it, or
Right. I'm going to use insight
Insight,
because I'm thinking.
you look away right at the right
Yeah,
time.
it's like my survey is I know exactly what's going to happen, so it's like I want to watch, but then be
Yeah,
able
I don't
to-
need to like put a microscope.
Yeah, I don't have to sit there and look at the solar eclipse for.
Is it really the sun though? Ah!
So it's 6 stress minus the
Minus-
highest die.
Which is 6.
6.
And so he he does
Critical.
on a critical he clears. Yeah.
Yeah. So you take no stress,
Right.
and you don't take the hump.
Right.
So
Very cool.
yeah, that's a neat mechanic because it is the
And if you roll 2 6s, you get to clear a stress.
Yeah. Because the GM just declares like rocks fall on your head. You now have a concussion and can't think straight, sort of thing, and that is how you mitigate that.
And then someone says, "No, you."
No, you Uno reverse card, and then you make the roll, and you're like, oh, look, I only rolled a 1, and now I'm all freaked out. But your head isn't bashed in. Okay. So, what you see for a moment, right? You see these two.
Being
These two.
Jack and Alexander.
Jack and Alexander.
Okay.
And they're very close to you.
Okay.
Like when you grab them.
Yeah.
And so there's a flash, and then just for a moment, like you said, it's like one frame of a picture just flashed in front of your eyes, and you see these two, their faces.
Okay. So they're not where I thought they were. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we were like 50 feet away from where Proust and Reggie were.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I get an action, or is this?
It is, who yells the loudest. That's how initiative works.
All right. So what I do is I take one of my load. I have an unusual weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. All right. I'll say that my unusual weapon is Alexander made me a concussion grenade,
Okay.
and I pop it, let the spoon fly, and I yell to Reggie, rage, and I throw it.
Okay.
And I'm throwing it where those guys were, like where I knew those guys were, where the bad guys were.
The bad guys were.
Yeah.
You're
So
just-
I'm just throwing it in that direction.
Okay. You're just popping so it is danger close to Proust and Reggie.
Right. And it's concussion, so it's just it's knockout.
Yeah. And so all of you hear this, and you may or may not see him tossing it.
Okay.
So we'll say it is in the air. I'm going to have you roll to,
Hunt.
yeah, to roll to heave ho it. You got to yeet that thing over there.
God damn it, brother.
I'm so happy that we're on this side of the table.
I know. I'm still waiting. I
aren't you
never
glad-
smell it.
Aren't you glad
Hardly
we're,
ever. There was that one time we almost cleared the room.
Right.
we're playing in person again? Thank God. All right.
This is what you wanted, Chad.
It is.
It is absolutely what I want.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you get?
I won.
Oh, that sounds like a bad day.
I throw the spoon.
Let's go to the board.
Prolapse.
Dick puppets.
Bronco, yeah.
Well, it's a concussion,
All right.
not a fragmentation grenade.
Touche.
So we're gonna say
Unless it lands on you.
at this moment it's in the air. So it's the worst outcome. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication, or you lose this opportunity for action. No, we're not gonna lose the opportunity for action. There's gonna be serious injury here. What is Reggie doing? This thing is like you are in mid slow-mo yeet where you're throwing the pin
Well,
Unfortunately, I have a limp-wristed, left-handed throw style, like Lamar Latrell.
I just expected it to bounce off my head because we're actually not moving yet.
You need a special javelin.
Yeah, javelin that bends, right?
so he did say rage.
Yeah.
So should I wait till after the grenades to see what happens? No.
No.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna rage.
You're gonna pop the rage.
I'm gonna pop a cork and just guzzle it down. And
Let me see something here real
down.
quick.
trying to think of like a cool way to take it because it seems like other people have different ways to take that potion,
Mm-hmm.
and that'd be like a unique way to do it. I was gonna say like smelling salt.
Butcher.
I say just snort it.
Yeah, like I snort a line of rage.
Like Reggie's rage powder. That's awesome. Like a ring.
Oh yeah!
You got the pinky fingernail thing. Yeah, coke nail.
Fucking coke nail. I'm a boxer with a coke nail.
When you rage, you should sound
So-
like fucking Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so worst possible outcome. All right, you pull the pin. You have the grenade in your hand.
Yeah.
You let the spoon fly.
Yep.
And you practiced this. I mean,
Of
this
course.
is- yeah, because you.
I've thrown rocks in
Right.
preparation for this. I've never actually thrown a grenade, but
Sure, I mean, and it's the same thing. And you throw it, right?
Yeah.
And then you're standing there, and the leech is standing in front of you. And he says, "Look at your hand.
I look at my hand.
You're holding the grenade."
I drop it.
He just stands there looking you right in the eye.
Oops.
3,
Is he really standing there?
2.
I'll kiss him.
You kiss him. 1.
It was an explosive kiss.
He basically altered your perception, and he made you throw the ring.
Okay.
And
So I threw the ring, held the grenade.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you did drop it, so you'd still have a hand.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's good news.
But remember,
So all everybody hears it.
the 3 of you are right there.
One smooch right before boom.
Jack, you feel someone kiss your forehead, and then you are blown backwards. The 3 of you are blown backwards. All of you are taking a moderate harm. That's a level 2 harm of, we'll just say stunned, fucked up,
I definitely will
hear, can't.
resist that.
Interestingly enough, I wore my light armor,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to resist that grade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mine's going to take that on the light armor.
I had heavy armor.
I'll resist that.
Yep, it's just these 3.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I still have my armor.
Because we're up the corridor from
Yeah,
there.
okay, cool.
In the real world, we are not by them.
Right.
Are you?
God damn it, it's so terrible. Armor is so expensive to fucking carry.
Yep.
I hate it.
That's because you can just look at me
and say no.
and say no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can, like, I've had characters talk me into using their armor to resist someone talking to them, like convincing them in some way. Right? It's like
I take off my armor and hand it to him.
yeah. I mean, if you can convince me, then
If I
yeah,
give you my armor, will you shut up?
Shut up, please.
I take off my gauntlet. and
it's a
I
nice
smack him.
coat. Yeah.
Give you my armor.
So I resisted just trying to basically gut it out.
Okay.
And so I think he was kind of thrown. I did take some stress for it, but
All right. Cool. Yeah. No. You're all. So all 3 of you are thrown back. Right. I mean, you're not in a good way. You from the movie standpoint, you're all like bloodied up. It's like that scene in Blade where the old guy in Blade's like cleaning the blood off of him, but the blood isn't real because it's stage blood, and he keeps just wiping the scars and damage off him because he's not really hurt. But yeah, that's how you guys are like blown backwards, and then you're like, and you're starting to get up. Proust, Reggie, you're walking towards the lighthouse, and you notice that Treacle is there with you, and Alexander. Oh no, you're not. I'm sorry. It's Proust, Alexander, and Treacle. all of you are walking, and occasionally, like, you hear this thing, you hear them talking, you turn around,
And
Treacle says some
inexplicably,
stuff.
these two fall and start screaming, and I'm just still walking.
Literally, that is what happens. It is like you guys are walking, and then all of a sudden it's not that they fall, like they are thrown away from you. And boom, boom, like, and both, like, if you look over at both of them, like, you can see them coughing smoke, and like Alexander's retching because of the the chemicals they breathed in and stuff. Like, I think I broke a rib. Oh, shit.
I just imagine I had gotten up and I'm standing next to Reggie, and then out of nowhere, just woof.
None of you heard an explosion. Treacle, none of you heard the leech say what he said to Treacle either. All you know is that Treacle, you kind of get what happened because you have more perspective on it. So both of you guys, your shit's weird, shit's getting bad. Okay, I'm kind of getting a handle on this. All of a sudden, you just got
Pain.
But we see the grenade.
No.
No?
No. I'm sorry. Yes, you do.
All right.
You do see you.
I don't think I do.
See the
Because I
aftermath,
wasn't
maybe?
looking towards him.
So the group that's going towards the lighthouse, again, there's talking, there's yelling, there's do this, which is very weird. It's very dreamlike because everything is so far away.
Mm-hmm.
You have an understanding of what's happening close because you can all hear each other. And then all of a sudden, Treacle turns around and chucks a grenade. And chucks a grenade that Alex made for him. And then it boom, but you don't hear the explosion, and then you guys are thrown to the ground.
I'm going to get up and dust off and be impressed at my handiwork.
Faust is pausing, and he's going to turn around. So the two people with him on the way to the lighthouse are Alexander and Treacle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to stop, and he's going to turn to Uncle Treacle and say, "Hey, buddy,
Yes.
you know what your problem is?"
Well, I just browned my pants.
No.
So did Brodor.
Do you know what this whole thing is about, buddy?
It's never good when he calls you buddy.
No. I say, oh, okay. All right. You're calling me buddy, so you're trying to teach me something. Go ahead.
It's like money. You understand money. Maybe a little
In theory.
too much. You don't
Your friends certainly.
have much,
No.
but you
Anymore.
But I have really, really good friends, apparently.
but you keep wishing for it. But do you know what money actually is?
It makes the world go round.
No, it doesn't. No. If that was the case, then we have enough money to undo all these problems that we have. But no matter how much money we accrue, it never really gets better, does it?
Prowse, get to your point.
Money, the reason it's valuable to you is because of the fact that in that one little corner of your life, and some people might call it greed, but I think you're a better man than that, which is why I don't punish your greed. It's an article of faith. Do you see, buddy? If you take money and you give it to somebody else, you believe that they're going to do something for you or give you something, and then they believe that they can give it to somebody else for something else. It is all an exercise in faith. Now, Proust reaches into his pocket, pulls out now a coin, capital C, coin lowercase c, pulls out, farthing or whatever, and says, "Do you look at this and you understand what it is, that it's an exercise in faith, and there's things that you have to do to get it, and then a reward that you reap once you have it. So why can't you have that faith when there's no money? Don't you think maybe this is all happening for a reason? Maybe the one who wants us to dream isn't even a good person, but that doesn't mean there isn't something good unfolding here. Stop trying to fight and for a moment just watch it. Even if it's a lie, have faith that there is a truth.
So I should have faith that that dude behind you is not going to stick you?
I have faith he won't, because if
Were you shaking it out earlier?
No, I was appreciating the bouquet.
as long as we're appreciating the presentation.
Or the taste?
Good God, dude. What did you eat?
You still
You're not allowed to eat
have
before you-
faith in all the wrong things. He produces this like 2-foot long set of bone shears from his coat, from his Cossack. If I was to stab this person behind me, what makes you think it wouldn't be you I'm actually sticking this through?
Gentlemen, if I may interject,
You see
I'll
a, you
get
see a
to your
man.
perhaps
You see a man standing behind Prest.
perhaps my deduction is incorrect, but I think every time we have attempted violence, it's been a mistake.
He's starting to get it. Violence is raging against the faith. A domestic animal sits in its cage because it trusts the owner. A wild one doesn't because it has no trust. But as a result, we do not allow wild animals into our homes. We don't feed them, medicate them, care for them. They're not loved.
Press, I've got a really bad headache right now. So could you just make your point, or
And we all
what are you trying to tell us here?
Yes.
What the hell is this?
What are you telling us, that we should just take it on faith that none of this is happening? Is that what you're saying?
Have you ever had anyone tell you a lie that lasted forever?
Yes.
That at no point.
The best ones do.
But if that was the case, you wouldn't know it was a lie. The lie eventually ends.
Proust is right, Unc. It's not real.
Whatever's happening
Wait,
to
so
us.
Dr. Proust, are you saying that if I never discover the truth behind the lie, that it was never a lie?
I'm saying that you know you've been lied to because you found the truth. And yet here you are again being lied to, and you're trying to lash out like a caged wild animal. Let's
Jack, you just hear your ghost like, Jack, you got to figure this out, man. The rats are coming.
Well, what if the
I'm not
lighthouse?
the one that knows how to figure this out.
What if
I'm relying on Proust. He's going to figure this out.
What if the lighthouse is a metaphor and it is the thing that illuminates the way? Like, I feel like that's the adventure.
Jack.
That's the important part of the lie. So let's go hear it.
Jack, you can't punch your way out of this one, man.
No, that's why you got to rely on Proust. He knows what this crazy shit is.
No, I'm only slightly
He'll
inspired.
figure it out. You do the tinker thing.
Jake, don't
This
talk
is
to the
ghost
voices.
As for you, Mr. Dreamer, buddy, you...
Yeah, now he's
I'm
in
not your
trouble.
buddy, guy.
Now he's in trouble.
I'm not sure what I am.
What's your buddy guy?
might want to stop because there is a terrible price for deception.
Damnation?
Oh, no. Far worse. One he doesn't understand, because if he did, he'd be running in terror to repent. He'd be throwing himself at our feet for forgiveness. Let him learn his lesson in time. I hope you've learned yours with your headaches and all.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
He just, with the bone shears, shake, just clips them like, just snapping scissors. He's not actually like stabbing them. He's just like,
I wipe the blood from my nose.
sometimes the cure is worse than the problem.
Okay, so what do we do?
We keep walking. He took the time to give us this scene. Let's explore it. Let's see who he is. Because The lies people tell expose their fears. A wife does not lie to her husband about an affair if she is not afraid of him or the shame or something else. Let's see what he's afraid of.
So you can't win the game unless you play the game.
Now you're starting to understand.
All right.
This is why I don't think you need as much spiritual help as some people do. He taps the spirit vial.
Okay.
I
Kraus, you're a weird one. Doesn't mean I don't love you, but you're weird.
You're a weird one.
Dr. Proust.
And that Proust turns and just keeps on walking toward the lighthouse.
You turn around, and about 4 feet in front of you, there's a guy. And he's not 10 feet tall, and he's not the leech. It's just a guy, looks like kind of a rough, looks like a player, right? Looks like a scoundrel. You don't recognize him, can't quite place.
And what do you have to tell us?
Well, I have to tell you 2 things. Well, one is a tell thing. One is a question-ask thing. The tell thing is we need to wrap this up because the rats are coming. The ask thing is, do you want to make a deal?
Are you the ones that stole our shit?
Yes.
What kind of deal we talking?
Is there, pause here, player question.
Yeah.
Is rat slang for something in the setting?
Yes. Rats.
Literal. So are like the sewers like
Let's
ROUSs or whatever?
let's roll back to a month and a half ago
Okay.
when you guys went into the sewers and I described skittering large things
That may have
in
been
the
the game I wasn't there
shadows.
for.
It might have been.
Yeah, that might be the game I was there for.
And again, it was like almost 2 months ago.
Okay, so there are like demonic. There's a rat coming is not a little.
If you don't wrap this up, you're going to get eaten.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I'm trying
It could
to
be a
understand.
lot of little rats. It could be one big rat.
But it's either way. It's
They're Skaven.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And it's not the Master Splinter. You're not going to turn into ninjas.
Right. Okay. I was just trying to understand what the.
Yeah.
Because rats in a real sewer are irritating, maybe disease carrying, but not profoundly dangerous.
No, this is
You
profound.
get enough of them, they can be profoundly dangerous. Too.
This is, they're like land piranha.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so what...
I put a hand on his shoulder and say,
His or the...
No, the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have thought of that before your greed led you down here, shouldn't you have?
No, not really.
Oh. Well. Then perhaps you're unredeemable.
Okay, so you put your hand on it.
Yeah, it's just very conversational.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put your hand on him, and only you can hear this.
Okay.
You hear, and it's not his voice. It's like a bunch of different voices. And you hear, it's like, okay, guys, we got to pull it together. We can lead them into a trap. We have to stop them from getting to Samuel. Okay, we need to focus. Just like Sammy said, just pull it together. Okay, the big guy, pull him down into the sand. He's going to go crazy. Oh, and you just hear that. And then the guy goes like this. Again, not a slap, but just kind of like brushes your hand off of it. And then the voice is kind of cut.
What do we have that you want to bargain with?
We already have it.
Then why would you even want to bargain?
I don't want to fight. I just want us to go away with the prize and you to go away. Basically, we just agree to go into our corners, and I convince my leech to stop all of this. It isn't good for morale.
Are your guys suffering from this too?
Let's just say we're not exactly suffering. Better decide quickly. You go into your corner, you lose everything. You fight us, you lose your life.
I didn't hear what Proust heard.
You do not. Proust's the only one who heard that.
Okay. I go, okay. I guess you hold all the cards, right? So you're being magnanimous and allowing us to survive.
Magnanimous? No. I am being not as smart as I could be. it would be better to actually kill you because there wouldn't be any retaliation. But
but then
we don't
I'd
have
still drop this and it would hit brick. And I doubt all of you are equally prepared.
out of character, I don't understand what Proust just said.
The dead man switch. In real world, he's standing in the sewer holding a spirit vial.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
And that's what he's kind of shaking in front of him. You killed me, and this drops, and it hits the bricks, and it shatters. And I doubt all of you are going to be so lucky and prepared as your leech is. So tell me, still think that you're the only one here with chips to play?
I want you to roll your attune.
Okay.
I want you to say, I'm Diane Reed, and you're listening to NPR.
I'm
In the press voice.
4. Okay. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer a severe harm. Okay, so here's what happened. Right, you go and you take the spirit file out, the dead man switch. And you do it, and again, you are, well, not to be much of a pun, you're a little bit more attuned to this.
Yeah.
Even though you're not a leech, you don't quite understand what is happening, but you understand that there is a ghost field component to this.
Yeah.
And so you kind of like sense something is wrong, and you take it out, and as you're taking it out, you're like looking at it, and you're tuning to the ghost field, because part of it is that you have to control it too. And you're looking at it, and it's like changing in your hand as you pull it out. Like you pull out the spirit vial, but what you're pulling out is, and you can pick something on your character sheet that is about that size. You're not pulling out the spirit vial. But
okay.
but you get the sense, you know you're not pulling it out. You don't think they know you know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
To all of you guys, he's pulling out a spirit vial. He's just like, okay, motherfucker, we're all going to have a bad day, sort of thing. But you're pulling out maybe like a coin purse or a tobacco pouch or something like that. So you get the idea that they just did something to you.
You can't keep this up forever. You know that.
Can you?
I'm patient, and death doesn't frighten me.
Death not frightening people is a common trait among scoundrels. Either they're too stupid to understand it, and he kind of like motions towards the cutters, or they have an intellectual block against it, or maybe they have a certain understanding, or maybe they just insulate themselves from it and the emotions too.
Do you know who I wasn't afraid of?
Your father? I don't know.
My grandma.
That's fantastic.
And I used to run to her.
He looks at you. Do you have a leash on this one?
No, he doesn't come with it.
If you're not afraid, then
Oh, I do.
put down this illusion and let death come. Run into its embrace. I promise I'll catch you.
No, I don't think we will.
Oh, you are afraid. You're so very afraid.
Well, I suppose we're going to separate to our respective corners. You're going to take my my safe with whatever you think's in it. I assure you it's not worth all of this.
Reggie just sits down. He's just
We don't
basically
have,
just gives up. Like, there's nothing to fight. There's nothing to do.
the only reason we're here is because you violated our space.
You got this one on a leash?
No, I told you I don't. He is his own person.
Are you going to your corner? By the way, in my games, failure is an option. Like, you guys can totally let these guys go, and you lose something.
Look, I hate deception. If you walk away with that safe, you know, if not me, someone's going to come looking for you. Walk away.
It'll probably be you. Well, and I think we're past that now.
And
I think even if we left the safe and left you, you guys would probably still come after us. I mean, you have to. It's your rep, right?
And what we will bring will be far, far worse than death. Just walk away.
We're all hearing this, right?
Leave the safe.
Yes.
If
You leave the safe, then I will take it as an act of contrition, and this can all stop right here.
No.
If I am correct, and we are still in the sewer,
You're saying this, or is this?
I'm saying it out loud.
Okay, yeah.
And I close my eyes,
Right.
to shut out. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if I am correct, and this all is illusory, and we're still in the sewer, and we're the only people here that know this, I feel secure in our reputation, provided that you're not going to tell anybody. So there is no need for retribution. You're not bluecoats. Again, I could be wrong. I don't call the shots, but if I could provide counsel to Uncle Treacle, that's my counsel.
Well, we're not leaving the safe, and it's your guys' reputation on the line, and there are far too many people here. Let's cut the BS. My crew's here, your crew's here. He doesn't have a leash. As an example, someone's going to talk. We've been in this game long enough.
Well, in that case, you should not have said anything about reputation. I'll follow your lead, but he's right.
All right, I look at you like, did you hit your head really hard?
No, what I mean, Uncle Treacle, is that they're going to leave. They're going to take the loot, and this is going to damage our reputations because people are stupid and everyone talks. And every time, 9 times out of 10, when the bluecoats catch somebody, it's because somebody opened their mouth. I don't care about that box. I don't care about what's in it. I care about our reputation and what it does. So what they've said is that, that this is far more serious than I'd given it credit for. And so going back to our respective quarters, with all due respect, I think is the wrong decision. With that said, I'm not in charge.
Dr. Prowse?
This won't end.
Reggie?
Reggie's like he's just flat on his back in the sand, just kind of like running his hands through it.
So Drew's probably making a shit angel in the sewer.
Shangel?
Yeah.
All right, I say,
Coming to you, stage 3, Angel.
So he's in the dream state. He's like, he's playing in the sand and shit, kind of, and he's just. I mean, what do you expect me to do? I can't punch us out of here. Come on, actually he can. Yeah, I mean, I figured that whenever the tune thing happened.
But he doesn't know that.
Jack.
Yeah, I didn't put it together.
That leech is dead.
Wow.
When I get my hands on him, however we break out of this, no.
No.
Leech is going to pay for this.
It
Don't
seems,
worry,
it
Jack,
seems
you
that
know.
the tide has come back in.
We'll get him, Jack. Don't worry.
The guy standing there looks at you and goes, if you get him, you might want to wear gloves when you do it. So I guess that's your answer?
Well, sometimes you have to do what the crew wants to do, not the smart thing.
God, I'm so fed up with this, and I want to try and like break out of it again.
I say,
Okay.
I want to try and break out of it again because I'm tired of not being able to move. I'm tired of being in the same spot.
I look at Jack
So you're
and
going to
Alex.
attempt to sort of rip into the ghost field.
Yeah,
There's nothing in that box
okay.
that's worth losing you.
I'm attempting to do some dangerous shit.
I don't care
So-
about the box. I care about what that leech put us through.
So
He's
you
dead.
two think about what he just said. These two aren't going to understand it, but if he follows through with what he says
it's
and
about
fucks it up,
names.
it
You think Proust is going to be bothered by that going horribly?
absolutely not.
This is going to be the greatest day of his life.
Right. Alexander? I don't know.
If he throws the gates wide open and this ends with like a whole shit ton of people possessed, I mean, this is Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not down for that. By the way, when I was on my phone earlier, I was looking up to make sure I spelled something correctly because I have my turd project ready.
Oh.
So I haven't even filled in one
turd
pie piece
cutter.
on my second project, but I have my third project
Yeah.
planned.
You think Dr. Proust's crazy scissors are bad? He's going to whip out the turd cutter.
That player harpsichord. No, seriously, the bar's gonna have, or the sweet shop's gonna have a player harpsichord.
Nice.
So instead of a player piano, it's a
I
harpsichord.
did figure out my project is less weird than his.
Can anybody
I'm shocked, actually.
I mean,
spare
yeah.
me a stress for an extra die?
So one.
Yeah, I got you, bud.
All right.
Okay.
I got it.
I can't do two, but I
So
can.
basically, what Reggie is saying, he's like, because Alexander has been working with him, and Proust, let's be honest, he meddles in some shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, it was never, Proust never sat down with Reggie and said, okay, textbook,
This
page.
is how it works.
It's more like you've been kind of nudging and prodding and maybe telling Alex something and, just little
This is
prods like that.
again. This is the way I'm looking at it is this is part of me basically learning how to fight ghosts.
Right.
Because Jack is scared of them to death, and the only way
Yeah.
I know how to take care of stuff is beating the shit out of them.
Basically, what he is talking about is he is attempting to rip himself out of reality into the ghost field to rip him into the real reality. Which is an actual ability that a totally different class has. So,
Shortbread with
Yeah, can't you do
raspberry filling.
no, I think slides or lurks do that.
I thought somebody had the ability to like spirit walk.
The hunter's dog can do that. Or their hunter's
That's right,
dog,
yeah,
and
the tiger
it
did
works.
that.
It is.
Tiger did
I
that.
think it's the Lurk that can do the spirit walk as well.
Yeah. All right, so you pushed yourself. You gave him
I
a
did.
die.
I did aid him, and it's sort of a mini flashback of me approaching it like scientifically.
Yeah. Okay, so it kind of like fell flat.
I really want this to succeed.
Did you ever actually take the rage potion? Because it seems like you.
I wanted to wait until what happened
Yeah.
after the grenade. So.
Well, yeah, let's just say you were going to, but the grenade blew because we never followed up
Yeah.
on that. So yeah.
Wow.
So
Crit.
okay, so here's the thing. So here's what's going through my mind, right? I'm like, because this is in the sort of lore of the thing. This guy's a cutter, barely knows what the fuck he's doing. He's on the edge of this sort of ghost spirit thing. He doesn't have anything in attune, and I'm like, from the lore standpoint, this is fucking dangerous. I mean, he is shadow stepping into the hell ghost realm where all the death is to step back out for a moment. And I was like, he's going to need a crit for this, but there's no way he's getting a crit. This isn't going to, I don't want to be an asshole about it.
So there's basically illusory thing, and then a membrane of ghost reality, and he has to break through that to get to real reality.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I understood
Right.
the explanation.
Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed this through the games that I've been running on this. So there's the electrophasmic oil gel and stuff, and then there's the technology from it, and then there's the ghosts and whatnot. I've been dropping subtle hints that it's all linked. Like stuff like you do this ability and the lights flicker. Because it's all kind of linked through this ghost field. It's all touching each other. So basically Reggie kind of gets, and that's what leeches like potions. It's not just hemlock. Like the real deal potions that leeches do that just isn't poison are ghost essence shit and the whale old leviathan oil and stuff like that. So again, it's all linked. So Reggie is laying there and he's like, fuck it! And you stand up and you just like this. All of a sudden, you pull back to the punch and it's like slow motion. Jack, you're standing there and all of a sudden you see this ghost in front of you. You see this ghost and it is a guy you killed like a month ago. You're not thinking too clearly. There's a job, a shakedown, maybe you tried to rob. I don't, but I know you. I killed you. And the one thing you notice is that he's missing a tooth. because he looks at you and he smiles because he sees that you see him in that moment. He's like, hey, like that. All of a sudden, you don't see the ghost, right?
Yeah.
You don't have that ability. And you kind of pull back this punch, and when you pull it back, the ghost kind of goes like this, and you can see his essence pulling out of him into this fist, and then he kind of snaps back and disappears, and you just, boom, you just punch reality, and a wave ripples through reality for everyone, right?
Do I get extra XP for a creep?
I don't know. We'll make a note of that. We'll look it up.
Okay.
So I just put in 2 dots on this pie. All of you just see this, right? And you punch through. You hear the leech. All of you hear this leech go, no! When the ripple hits, you guys see the crew, the opposition, and they're all standing around like this with their eyes closed, fists clenched, concentrating. And they're nearby. And you see them for a moment. Well, not for a moment. You see them. And it's like you kind of reset the dream, so to speak. And you hear them. All of you hear them. The planning that Dr. Proust heard for a moment, you guys hear them. You see their lips move and they're talking. And it's like you're on the same level. You hear the leech scream, no. And then you punch it, and there's this tear, and you see a sewer wall. None of you see this. You see this sewer wall. And then all of a sudden, this, no, like this. And the water comes rushing in, slams into the back of you, and this time it pushes you through the tear. None of you move. Reggie's gone.
So I basically come to, and I'm still holding on to the wall, and I'm like,
You come to, and Treacle is holding you.
yeah.
And
So he's been holding me the whole time.
yeah, holding you and Alex.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Trigger's holding us.
Or
Yeah, it was.
oh no, that's right.
They're
I'm sorry.
behind. They're behind.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So I see
I need a
Proust
secret
standing.
map of the
Yeah,
sewer
so
where
he's
you guys are.
behind.
Yeah. Okay. No. That's what you see. Yeah. And you turn around and you see these two, like that, and then you see you see the boat, the crew. You see the safe. Everybody is like they just kind of passed out. Not like they eat shit, and they kind of went
Like in the middle of a seance.
Yeah, they kind of like went down, and the crew is down. Some of them are leaning against stuff. Some of them look like they sat down, and like the adrenaline is going, and you're thinking a mile a minute. It's like you get the impression that some of the crew
They're stuck in it too.
they're stuck in it
Yeah.
too, but they were kind of ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of you guys just went down.
Yeah.
These guys some of them sat down. Some of them are leaning against stuff, so they didn't like fall into the sewer and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so they knew what was happening.
Okay.
And you're there. You're standing there.
Is anyone conscious?
You don't. You seem to be the only one who's conscious. And it's very dark, right? You all had lanterns, but they're all down. A lot of them are out because they fell into the water or whatever. You don't know how long you've been down here. In the glow of his lamp, you see scurrying shadows.
Shit.
A lot of scurrying.
Oh my god.
Back to you guys.
All right, so we saw like the layout of where everything is,
Yeah, no, it's there now.
so we can see them leaning down and all that.
No. You guys see them in the dream.
Okay.
And the water rushes in like it did before. Bricks and ship parts
So
and
it's
all
all
that.
happening again.
It's all happening again. And then it all pulls back.
But Reggie's gone.
But Reggie's gone. The rip you made closed. Now, remember, you're in desperate. Each of you, except Reggie, can make an attune roll if you want, because the guy just reset the dream. But now you know it's the dream, and you can make an attune roll if you want to stay like where you see them, you know where they are, you hear
do it.
their plan.
I'm going to give you, Dr. Proust. I'm going to give you my second
Okay.
3 dice.
What do you say to him? Or
All right, I say, I say, Proust, this is on you. You have to be able to fight through this. It's not real. It's spirit or some shit.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah. Got a 6.
Of course you did.
I have to roll 2, keep the lowest.
Yep.
I also do. But I think I'll two myself.
So
2
not
to
me.
make it 1 dice.
2, there's going to be a problem.
Right.
No problem for you, of course.
So I'm pushing myself, so I'm going to
Okay.
use 1 dice instead of 2. Take the lowest. Oh, the suspense is
God! 3. 3, which is also a bad, the
Okay.
worst possible outcome.
Doesn't make sense for me for Jack to be able to
Right,
break
no,
out of it.
you want nothing to do with this shit.
Yeah, I'm not even going to roll it because Jack wouldn't. He's
Right. Okay, so I'm going to put an X here, right? For Proust, basically, this is your thing. This isn't even like a theoretical thing. It's just like, okay, this is the illusion, and this leech is manipulating the dream. It's not an illusion, it's a dream. You guys are unconscious. He's manipulating the dream, and he just tried to pull something back. Dr. Proust, you look at the ocean, and tell me if you want to change this trapping. You look at the ocean that is receding, and then all the guys go with it, and you're like, no. And you reach out to it, and you pull the ocean back in, you pull the tidal wave back in, and when the water comes back in, everybody is there for you. All the guys are standing there, everybody's there.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Because he kind of associates water with his apotheosis.
And you are...
Truth was a descent into madness, but...
You are completely under... It's not like, oh, you're this... Like, you are underwater. Like,
Yeah.
And when you do it, because for you it's more of the ocean, it's not like a tidal wave and the destroying of the city, which may have something more metaphoric to do with Samuel. For you, it's more of the ocean, right? And you bring it in, and like when it slams into some of the wreckage turns, like the city wreckage, and the sewer bits and the bricks turn into aquatic plant life and a reef, and it's more ocean themed, right? And you're all saying, now you're underwater, but it doesn't affect. It's not like you're swimming or you're drowning or anything like that. It's just normal, and you're all walking around, except for these two, who we are going to say these two lose their opportunity. I'm going to ask you guys to do an RP thing for a while until one of these guys can kind of do something.
Okay.
You see the water rushing in, and it hits you, and you guys have been, like, the real stressed and stuff. So actually what I'm going to say is you guys take 2 stress,
Okay.
which can be resisted if you want.
What happens when you... I'm not there yet. What happens when you run out of stress?
You take a trauma and you're out for the...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what happens is, remember how when the tidal wave first hit you, it's so real. You're really, you know it's an illusion, but your body and mind is telling you it's real. It's real. You guys are underwater and you're drowning and you're going to die.
I'm absolutely terrified. I mean, for me in real life, actually, drowning fucking terrifies me.
Yeah, and it's not like you can... And it's a dream thing, too. Like, the deck of the ocean there is 80 feet above you. Yet even in the ocean, it still stinks. But
It smells like dead fish.
Well, that was a queef.
Smells like that.
Oh, it does. Yeah, she's a queef.
But the deck is 80 feet above you, and you're swimming, you're panicking, but it's an illusion.
That's so
And
dark.
you're
Which
not-
way's up?
Yeah, which way is up?
I mean, people who drown, that's one of the things you go
So-
through is you don't know which way's up.
Yeah.
In real life, what could have happened is one of us slips off the leaning and we're face down in the water.
And then Reggie's there giving you a swirly in it.
Well done. Well done.
We're
We call it
waterboarding
the Big
ourselves.
Dipper.
Right.
So what do
'Cause you can
I
drown in,
see
like, not
not
much
having
water.
fought it?
No.
Not
An
even
inch of
fought
water,
in.
no.
You see the same thing, right? So the water rushes in, and then it rushes away. So you see where the guys are, and then it rushes away, and the guys are gone. You are reset back to what the Samuel wants you to believe in the dream.
Okay.
Proust and these two are in. I don't want to say it's Proust's dream, but it's where Proust is in control.
He's lucid.
He's lucid in it, and I don't want to say you are the master of the dream. Like both you and Samuel now control the dream. It's in your version you are more powerful. In his versions he's more powerful.
So they're fighting for control.
So they're fighting for control.
Super cool.
Like you see Jack is in your dream, but he is in Samuel's dream, right? These two are in your dream, but they're freaking the fuck out.
So, in my version of the dream,
Yes.
we are on a whaling ship. Insofar as the whole area is rocking on the sea, outside you can see waves, maybe even rain. But inside, it's not like a ship, it's the mental institution.
That's cool.
It's the mental institution,
But
except
out all the windows is ocean
Yeah.
and waves, and you see Harpoon get shot off, and
it is it is just like you described, except the floor is covered in 2 inches of black beach sand. Because there's spillover between the two. So something you notice is when you're walking on the sand, it's still sand, but as you crunch in, there's deck underneath there. And then there's the sounds of, like, you feel like the whole world is swaying.
Do
like
I
a
see
ship.
them at all?
You see them, yeah. You see them. These two are freaking out. They are in the middle of a total freak out. These guys are man overboard. Basically, they believe they're drowning. You have to, like, mentally pull. You're either going to have to convince them somehow. So, like, we're talking like a sway or something. Or you're going to have to use your attune to kind of, like, touch their mind a little bit and kind of, like, no, it's okay sort of thing. Or something else. You're going to have to figure something out.
I'm going to go a slightly different direction. I've got a certain amount of time before they actually do suffocate. I'm going to try and end the situation before that occurs.
Okay. We'll get back to that.
All right. Is the guy that they were talking to still there, or did he disappear?
He's still there.
Okay.
He's looking around like, he's kind of like well, this just went to shit sort of look on his face.
All right. I'm gonna go wreck him.
All right.
It's all I know.
Yeah. I'm down.
Jack's poor
6.
mind.
Okay, so this is gonna be like a lot of the other ones. So boom, yeah, he's like, I mean, he was there, he's negotiating. I mean, he's the captain of their crew.
Get that smug look off your face.
And guess what? Jack wipes that smug look right the fuck off his face, and then brushes that look off of his knuckles. You basically sit this guy on his ass. Proust, you see, so like a dream thing, right? It's an enclosed ship, everything is close, and you see the other crew members, but in reality, if you were on a ship, you wouldn't see they'd be in different parts of the ship, and they're at different places. Because it's like a dream thing, yeah, you're in this hall, the hall is 3 feet wide, it's 10 feet long, and you see the whole crew there. They don't fit, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, reality is very multiple choice to him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And you're down with it.
Yeah.
And so it's like that. You're in like the mess can hold 4 people, and there's like 10 people here.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. They're all standing around, they're all going like this. Now, before we get to you, we're going to pass into reality. Reggie, a whole bunch of rats. Like you hear them, you see them, you smell them. It is a carpet of rats. They're not flowing over everything, but it's going to be a problem. They are massing right
So they're not coming down the tunnel we came from.
No, so it's a big maze of tunnels.
Right, they're like a bunch of like openings in this room.
They are going to start any moment. They are going to start pouring out of everything.
Oh my god!
And you can already see some, and like you've like there's a rat that was nibbling on Jack's coat or something, and you've kicked him off and stuff. Like what are you going to do? Now you can. I will say the obvious here, because I'm sure there's people listening to this right now screaming, "Just kill the fucking enemy crew!"
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that. I will not stop you. That will solve the equation, and your friends will get eaten by rats.
So here's my here was what I thought to do. So roughly how much time would I really have before I'm completely overrun? Like, is it like, oh shit, I got like 10 seconds, or is it I have to act quickly?
You need to act quickly, and I don't know. Depends on how entertaining your solution is.
So my idea was, because there's the goat in there with the
there's a
carriage,
couple of goats.
I'm gonna fucking start throwing those guys off of it and putting my guys on it, and I'm gonna push the safe off too, so this thing goes faster. And I'm gonna try and go back down the tunnel that we already came from. I'm just gonna turn this thing around and go, because it's the only way. I can't carry them.
Yeah. So the goats, there's no breeze.
Yeah.
There's no motor. The goats are powering it. So you're taking the goats off.
No. My
Or
idea
you
was
just-
I was gonna use the goat.
Okay. So the goats are pointed the wrong direction.
Right.
So you got to turn the goats around. You got to get all the bad guys off, and you got to get all your guys on. I'm gonna say you're not
Gonna have time.
Not gonna have time. It's a good idea, but
Well, that's why I was like, well, how much time?
Yeah. I would say you're going to have problems if you do that.
Okay.
So, but you could make progress on it. Or what you can do is you can say, fuck it, yeet your friends onto the ghost, leave the bad guys, the boat, put your friends on the boat.
Oh, the raft, yeah.
On the raft.
I forgot they had a raft, actually.
Yeah. Put your friends on the raft, leave the bad guys where they are, and get the goat out of there.
I'll do that, because the only reason I said the goat was because in my mind I was remembering it pulling something.
Yes.
And I thought they were still on that. I forgot about the raft.
Yeah. They're pulling the raft.
Okay, yeah, I do that. I take those guys, because they're on the raft, right?
Right.
I take those guys off the fucking raft.
You don't have time.
Yeah, I just dip it. I just dip it. I'm strong.
You are strong. Okay. And you have not to be trifled with. I mean, if you want to activate not to be trifled with, you can do that. I mean, it's a raft with a safe on it that is attached to two. I mean, we say goats, but remember, we're talking Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Big ass things. You're probably going to freak the goats out. I'm not saying no. I like the idea.
You could throw us on top of that crew and just take us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck those guys.
I mean, you can fuck them later.
Is the leech?
That's coming.
Yeah. Is the leech still on it though?
You do not see the leech.
So I don't see the leech at all.
Yeah, but remember, you're not making a thorough search. You don't have time.
No.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start grabbing them, and I'm gonna put them on the raft.
Okay.
I grab Proust carefully because he still has the thing in his hand, and I'm moving. I would take as much time as I possibly can.
It would be safest to take it and put it into your pocket, or
can I do that?
Yeah. You
Can you put it in my pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want that fucking thing. I put it. Yeah. I open up his bag, which I'm sure is filled with like weird shit. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And so I put it in there, and then I move Proust on there, and then I run back to get there.
When you take your hand out of the bag, your hand is tingling, but you don't have time to fuck with it. So
I shake it off.
Yeah.
I shake it off. I run and I grab Alex and Treacle first because I can carry them both at the same time.
Okay.
And Jack's gonna be a solo carry because I can't
right. Okay.
So that's what I want to do.
Yeah. No.
Do you want me to?
No. You're fine. If you were, breaking the goats' necks and sacrificing them to the rats, and then skull fucking all the bad guys and flipping the raft
I didn't know that was on the table.
I have a rage potion.
I mean, yeah.
Sex rage potion.
That's right.
Sex Rage. Sounds like a punk band.
It was Sex Rage Potion, so it sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers album.
Then we would start talking about rolls and rats and damage and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to talk you out of the awesome
No.
idea,
My whole plan
but-
was just to get us the fuck out of
Yeah.
there. But if I could kill them all at the same time by like leaving them for the rats, I would. But
Sure.
you're right. There's There's not a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, you see the rats are imminent there.
What if once we get on the raft and we're moving, then I start throwing people off because we gotta lighten up.
Sure.
We gotta lighten this load.
I
We
know,
gotta go
right?
faster.
I mean, I'm down.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so
Well, at least give me one guy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably kill them before the rats get to him, or they'll die while I'm throwing them.
he's got to get away.
Yeah.
Right, and which means it's not just like, okay, I press the go button. It's like, okay, fucking goats, go. How, and, you fire your gun or something, and, it's just like, all right, so you are getting that all arranged, and you are underway.
Yes.
Excellent. So, as of right now, you guys aren't going to get eaten by rats.
Yay.
Yet. All right, so, Jack, you're in a fight with this guy.
That was my dog.
Proust, what is your plan here? Where are you going with this? So, basically, I'm sure you figured out what this clock is.
Okay, so
This is breaking the dream,
and I'm going to break the dream in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and basically drag the leech into my madness.
right, perfect.
And by that, I want to make him lose control. So I want to try and start running the dream such that instead of being in seawater, he thinks he's strapped to a gurney, about to be given a lobotomy. And then suddenly he sees himself in a straitjacket rocking in a room. And then suddenly
It's enema time.
Yeah, it's...
Did I say I was afraid of drowning? Because medical shit's even more terrifying.
That's actually like my top,
Yeah, I am putting him through a Victorian sanitarium nightmare.
Okay.
Not for me.
No.
First, you have to get him.
Yep.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
You do you, boo, sort of thing. This is my cinematic with the boat,
Yes, I like it. It's theatrical.
Yes.
So the boat is going to turn toward the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my metaphorical Chad move, not my literal
Right.
Chad move.
Yeah. This is your big chin,
this
6 foot tall, 6 foot long dick. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Mega Chad.
Yeah, this is the mean Chad move of use my vision to wreck his. I love it, and it came from an actual Chad, so it's Chad.
It is.
It's just Chad,
I'm
Chad,
down
Chad,
with
Chad,
it.
Chad, yeah.
You're gonna Chad right all over his
Everything's
face.
coming up Chad.
Except for this guy. He's going down on Chad. So.
5 thick grams of Chad.
All right, so you're going to try. Okay, so there are a couple of things. You're going to try to, metaphorically, you give the order for full steam ahead into the lighthouse because you've ripped your dream to where you're on the ocean, right? So the camera is looking at the boat, and there's a wide ocean. It's dark, right? There's no daylight. It's that red ember in the sky. The ocean is black. It is black like ink, and when you stare into it, you can see constellations in the distance. And there's probably a leviathan breaching somewhere off in the distance, and people yelling, Leviathan, no, whatever. And when you say, you're on the bridge because you're the captain, and you say, full speed ahead at the lighthouse. And the camera kind of rotates around the boat, and the boat, as if it was always pointed in that direction, is full steam ahead towards the lighthouse. And the light has stopped turning and is shining on the boat as it comes in.
Like the Eye of Sauron.
Right. So, you have two kind of problems. One is named Alexander and one is named Treacle. So they are basic. I'm imagining Proust put them in a padded room on the boat. They believe they are drowning right now. So,
Which means they are.
which means they are. So you guys are going to take another stress. We're going to say 2 stress. You can resist it.
Okay. I need to resist
Or-
this. Ow.
Or you can. Do you legitimately think your character can kind of pull it enough together to try to make an attune roll to snap into the dream?
No.
Oh,
I'm going to go with no also.
I'm trying to resuscitate Alexander by like giving him mouth to mouth, but he keeps spitting water back into my mouth, so we're like exchanging water.
Yeah.
No, stop!
My character's making out through water.
I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah. All this reminds me of
My
this.
adopted son and I are exchanging water kisses.
I'm trying to save his life.
I'm exchanging the water.
So
of life.
here's my situation. I can't take 2 stress,
Right.
and I don't have a tune. So I'm either rolling 2 dice, keep the lowest, and
Or put
and
get
crossing
2
my
sixes,
fingers.
yeah.
I have a way to assist you with the tune that I have in mind, which would give you 1 die.
I'm in. Let's do it.
and he can push himself for no, it's 2 stress.
He
doesn't have
can't
the
push
stress.
it.
I don't have
Okay.
stress.
No, but I'm going to take the stress. And what I do basically, because you said I see them,
Yeah.
and I see them freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Jack reaches out a hand, grabs him, pulls him close, snap out of it, and just commands him to snap out of it.
All right.
5.
Boom! 5. Desperate. You do it, but there's
But.
a consequence. There's a but. So we're gonna get back to the but
How
here.
about another lesser effect? I'm still spitting up water.
Yeah. You're still like choking.
Choking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You've basically spent the past like 5 solid minutes drowning. So you weren't really drowning, but your body thought it was, was doing the contractions and stuff. Like you probably broke a rib and, freaking out and, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you are not doing well. Okay. What's Uncle Treacle doing?
I'll take the 2 stress.
Okay.
It's hard to breathe seawater through a broken nose too, Treacle.
Quit talking when I'm trying to save you.
All right. So, in the interest of getting people back into the scene, so to speak, we're going to say that you guys took the stress and did the thing, and you pulled yourself out of it. And Jack was like, "Fuck it," and you guys play. You were in the same padded room, and as soon as you come to, the door just swings open. And you are just aware of this.
Is there still black sand floor?
Yes.
So it's like a Wes Anderson fever dream where
Right.
this insane asylum is on the high seas,
Yes.
right?
And it's
Harpoons,
really huge white shots. And
no,
It's a lot of magical realism.
very
but
intricate.
Not as happy.
yeah.
Not dark. No pastels at
Right.
all. So
Very life aquatic.
only darker.
Only Tenenbaums.
Only mythos.
Right. Okay. So you guys, Jack, you guys have your moment and all that sort of stuff, and Jack comes kind of carrying these 2 guys to the bridge, and Proust is standing. Would Proust be in a captain's uniform? Please tell me Proust would be in a captain's uniform. You can keep the dog's collar.
Here's
just
what I was thinking.
love it
Tell
if
me
he's
if you
in
like this. I was thinking captain's hat, but a mirrored reflector instead of a feather.
I was going to say, it's probably more of a doctor's.
Yeah. Like it is a.
And that's place, it doesn't make sense. Why is a doctor
Right.
captaining a ship?
Right. It is this. It's
You're a
like
doctor captain?
it's like the doctor's coat. Only there's epaulets on it and
Yes.
stuff like that, and the big
Yes.
brass buttons. It makes no sense.
Precisely. 'Cause it's a mixed metaphor to begin with.
Right.
Who's in charge of an insane asylum and who's in charge of a boat? He's both.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's...
Yeah, you guys come. Open the door to the bridge. The door to the padded room opens up. You crunch through the sand. You turn left, and there's a long hallway. Except you're now on the bridge, and you look out the window of this bridge, and there is a Leviathan, because they have this big rack, right? They catch the Leviathan. They don't kill it. They catch the Leviathan, bring it up onto the deck, and they have these 4 pillars on the deck where they spin the Leviathan. So it's a huge demonic whale with these giant tentacles and shit on it. And they start processing the Leviathan live on the ship on their way back to port. You see all of this. It's horrific, right? It is just horrific to us. To you guys and your culture, this passes by you every day when you're walking down by the docks.
What
And
does
the
this
lights
place
and scream.
like, what does Duskwall smell like?
Probably like the sea.
I mean, it's gotta be wretched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Or as
Been to a
Alexander
fishing
would,
town.
yeah, or as Alexander and you guys would call it, normal.
Yeah, we're nose blind.
The things
Yeah.
that have been coming out of you tonight, that's what it smells like.
Yeah.
I would like to. In my
Brodor
defense,
is dust.
Okay, let's
I
hear this
think-
defense.
Well,
There is no defense.
no, I fart.
Trust us, there's no
I
defense.
fart way worse than this. As far as
Oh, we know.
my yield is concerned, those were low yield, low volume attacks.
Right, yeah. Those are just probing attacks.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So-
they hit.
Yeah. So
You can call it off.
you guys probably have not been on the deck of a whaling ship unless you have something in your background like Proust does. And you see this, and you see the lighthouse there. You see the lighthouse coming for you, and not coming for you, you're coming for it, and it's just full speed ahead. Everybody on the crew is calmly going about their business, and there is, Admiral Horatio Proust, who is standing there, and you guys also hear what you have been hearing the entire time, and you are like just cussing and don't hear anything.
Yeah, all I'm doing is fuck, and I'm trying to get us to move while there's rats chasing.
Yeah, you've
us.
got like a torch, and you're like trying to fend off the rat
Yeah.
horde as the thing is going. You're like, those faster goats.
Yeah, so I'm on the back of it, like.
So you guys hear the enemy crew. You hear them, but you don't hear them planning anymore. You hear them like, what is going on? Why are we on a ship? Why are we in the south? All is panic, though, right? And they're all talking over each other all at once. Like, this is not what we practiced. Why is this like this? Some of them say, Samuel, do something, do something. You know, you have an awareness because you put them there. They're all each in their own cell, in straitjackets, with very not nice men who are performing very not nice or about to perform very not nice experiments on them.
Well, these aren't experiments. These are standard procedures.
Oh, absolutely. Vetted by the college,
Yes.
the Royal Academy. Absolutely.
I'm going to test your rectal stretch.
Let me get the reculum.
Those are just scissors reversed.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare. Reversed scissors.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are steaming towards the lighthouse, right? Dr. Proust, I would recommend, and again, do as you please, I would recommend maybe informing these compatriots that you can use all the help you can get to push through the defenses that Samuel has. Basically, he is trying to bleed his dream into this one to prevent what you're about to do. And so if you guys work together to push back at them, you don't
Do a
think,
seance?
you're not sure Jack's going to be of much help, but at least Alexander knows something of this.
Well, and
Yeah.
Jack basically, what do you need me to do?
Go and practice medicine.
I go look for the room that has the leech in it.
Leech is not on the ship,
Okay.
but the crew members are, and we're not going to get into a deep thing.
Let me explain my underpinning thinking here.
Right.
Because by even
Oh no,
if-
I know what you're going for, and I'm down with it.
because by tormenting these people psychologically, one, it's going to weaken their resolve. And so in the race to the bottom, I'm basically giving them a push.
Yeah.
And then secondly, even though we're not holding hands and singing Kumbaya, we are all participating in a shared delusion.
Yeah.
you're
You're
connected.
having,
I'm sorry,
Is the-
you all participating in Dr. Proust's truth.
It's
right.
the guy that I saw on the beach in one of the rooms.
So Jack goes down, and I'm going to have Dr. Proust do something if you don't mind.
Okay.
Jack, you open the door, and you know that the cells are 10 floors below, 10 decks down. Big, huge ship. you open the door and you take one step forward and you are on that deck. And you close the door behind you. And as you walk forward, you're walking down to the cell at the end, and there's the crew, and they're screaming, right? They're yelling. You're on the boat. You're screaming and yelling because the rats and shit. And you're like, oh, fuck. And you're like, you have to jump off, and you have to, like, grab the rats off the goats and stuff. And you notice that...
He's talking to Reggie, by the way.
Reggie, yes.
Yeah.
You notice that the crew is screaming, too. You just didn't quite get it at first because you're like, oh, fuck, we're all going to die. And then they're screaming, we're all going to die. Ah! Like that. And you're like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's echoing and shit. You're just like, maybe you should have been
And
a
unless
baker.
you're fighting the dream, the asylum is laid out exactly how you expect it to be. Every door you open, if you want it to, like, if you think behind this door is the kitchen, that is exactly what is there.
Well, and Jack had been freaking out all this time until now.
Right.
He has complete and total faith in Proust.
Yeah.
Proust is controlling this dream, so now he's calm and he's not fighting it at all.
There are rows of cells, and as Jack is walking down, Jack stops at the first cell, turns around and looks at it, and he's cracking his knuckles, and the door opens. And at the same time, Jack is walking forward down the hall to the next cell where he stops and cracks his knuckles, and the door opens, and he does this there are 10 Jacks.
Can you change one thing?
You can change anything you want.
Instead of the knuckles,
Yeah.
his scary... You remember his scary...
Oh, yeah.
It's like the mace, but it's Leviathan teeth out of it.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't even know where it came from, but it's in his hand.
It is in his hand. The Leviathan teeth, like, it is a metal shaft, and it goes up into sinew and bone, and it is dripping with slime and electrophasm, and the teeth are moving.
Undulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hungry.
Yeah, it is very
In the real world, it's scary.
Yeah.
Here, it is nightmare.
And as you walk in on the weapon, it has an eye and it blinks. I just wanted to see his face with that.
I just thought it was going somebody's brown eye. I'm like, all right, bend over.
And
Nobody said it wasn't.
10 crew members, 10 Jacks.
All the doors shut behind you.
Yep. And then they all start screaming
Like in unison.
in chorus.
Wow.
And it is, I want you to take a stress.
Well, the thing, too, is that there is
You
the
are- it's just a
cacophony
situation.
of rat shitter
Ouch.
behind him, just rushing behind him in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're coming to a turn in the tunnel, and you see a ghost turn the corner, and the ghost looks at all this like, nope. Walks away. All right. So, Proust. There is a tidal wave coming up, because that is his play for the reset, is to tidal wave into the boat and then reset everything. But you know he does not have the collective help of his crew, because you know exactly the little drama that 10 Jacks are playing out down below. Do you wish to enlist the help of these two to push through the tidal wave and slam into the lighthouse?
Treacle, I need you to be my helmsman. I need you to put our backs to the wave and our front to the lighthouse. I need you to have faith.
All right. And then I just like reach my hands out and the wheel appears in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I go, okay. And I just like start spinning it like Gilligan's Island.
Alexander, the harpoon.
No.
Go up. Fire it into the lighthouse.
Oh, all right.
Use it to draw us in.
All right, so I will go to said, even though I don't know if I have the appropriate skill, but I'm going to try.
Gonna try it. All right. So, instead of having you, I was gonna say like you guys can lead a group action after World War II, but I
Before you leave, Alexander, it doesn't matter what's real. It only matters what you believe here.
Oh, well, then I'm going to wreck that shit.
or tinker.
Or tanker, which
Yeah,
is the same
it's-
skill, but yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
And I was going to have you guys do like a group of two, but I like the more idea that Proust knows these guys aren't like him, and he basically is giving them something they can do to help him.
Something they can control.
Yeah, something he's giving them a piece of his dream that they can control.
I don't think Proust would put it so eloquently,
Sure.
but he's a Greek prophet. And what I mean by that is classical Greek prophet, where the prophet has to sacrifice something for their divine insight.
They have a hunchback.
Or they're blind or whatever. And in his case, Proust's goal is not to drive anyone and everyone insane like he is. He's not the Joker. He's not trying to bring everyone down to his level. It's more he thinks he has paid with a part of himself to see a truth that he can only explain to them in metaphor.
Right. No, I like it. I dig it. Okay, so Proust, here's what we're going to do. We need to fill in 2 of the slices, but we need to get there. So filling in one of these is going to get there. But I need all 3 of you to succeed at what you're doing. Actually, I need all 4 of you to succeed. Because, Jack, you actually need all 5 of you to succeed so the rats don't get you.
I have an idea for that.
All right. So why don't we pull out to reality first? It is fucking Looney Tunes out there. Like this, with the boat and everything, it's all metaphorical and it's crazy, but everybody has got a handle on it now. This is a fucking nightmare. This is like Night of the Living Dead with rats and demonic screaming of people in chorus, like they're screaming. Blood is starting to come out of their throats because they're just nonstop screaming themselves hoarse. I mean, it's insane.
It's a horror show.
It is absolutely a horror show. The rats are coming. What are you doing?
Is there any Leviathan oil?
You have access to all of these guys' inventories.
Do you guys have Leviathan oil?
He's got a lantern.
Yeah, the lantern.
I have a
Lantern's
lantern
filled with
too,
it.
but I need a lot of Leviathan oil.
I mean, there's your man with the Leviathan oil. He would have it if he wants to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bandolier, and I guess the Leviathan oil's not on here, but yeah,
I mean,
it's on my bandolier
it is now.
No, but
Yeah.
you may have like something else that can just light fire.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to do.
Like
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
yeah. There's fire oil, which
Yeah.
I assume starts
take
fire.
that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I just marked off the fire oil.
So I take the fire oil that I know Alexander has, and I just start throwing it behind us, and then I throw a lantern or something.
Okay.
That's my-
Roll
I had to
your
preempt that project,
rack.
this project.
Or do you have rack? You do have rack. I would roll your rack.
Because I'm making an
Because you are just
collection of maps.
destroying
Now they need
the
that
path
to keep us
behind
safe
you
while we're down there.
to stop the rats from eating everyone.
No pressure.
Do you want to push yourself? Pretty tense
six,
situations,
six.
desperate action. You guys have been marking your experience, right?
Yeah, I'll push myself.
I would say, does anyone want to help?
Yeah,
But,
I forgot to mark XP.
I don't think anybody can.
What did I do earlier?
boom! Of course.
I did. That's
All right.
fine.
So, essentially, what we have here is a 5-slice clock, and it's not really. It's just tracking the successes to fill in the pie piece. All right. So, unbeknownst to you guys, you just take this shit off of. You're going out. He's gotta have something. He's gotta have something. He's gotta have something because the torch, the fire torch that
It's
you
just
had,
not doing it.
Yeah, it's just there's too many of them, and these are like drugs. Somebody dumped rage vial potion down the sewer, and these rats are just roided out.
That's what
Like
Somebody's mom was like, "You're not taking this shit again."
that just makes you cranky in the morning. So, but yeah, you're just like, oh fuck, and you essentially you kind of rip through Alex's stuff. Like you're tearing his clothes, all the shit's all over the deck.
Yeah,
and you're just going through that. Yeah, sorry, but it's better than being eaten by rats.
Yeah.
So, and then you find like you don't really know much about this Tinker shit, but you have been working with him a little bit, and he's very fastidious, which means everything has a label.
Yeah.
And it has really good handwriting. And you're just like, no, this shit. Rat summoning powder? What the fuck? And then you find the one, it's like, Hellfire potion, never use.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't know how to use this, but you're getting ready a lighter and fuck it, and you smash it onto the stones away. Try to get it away from them, and it just smears and doesn't do anything. And then you take Alexander's lighter. You're not going to use your own. You take Alexander's lighter.
That's a bridge too far.
You chuck it, and it hits the stone, and it hits right where... And the rats are actually going around it. It's just like, yeah, I mean, that's some noxious shit, even for a rat. And they're going around it, and it hits, and then it plumps into the water. And you're like, fuck. Well, I guess I'm dead. And then all of a sudden, this just... whoop, like that. It's just like a compression, and the air is sucked out of your lungs for a second, and it's as if it released, this is what it did. It released this invisible gas that when it hit a certain critical mass, then it just ignited everything. You get knocked on your ass.
Yeah.
The guys who are screaming stop screaming for a moment because all the air is out of the sewer, and the goats kind of like freak out, and then it is not a hellfire, right? Everything that was in the gas is now crispy, like dead, crispy. The water, like the entire...
so everything was like flash fried.
Yeah, it did not fire everything. It flash fried. Like the water all evaporated. Steam went... Luckily, it was a sewer, so there's like sewer grates and shit. Otherwise, you would have been parboiled.
Yeah.
In fact, you're
Somebody
probably...
walking down the street be like, fuck!
Marilyn Monroe, she just immolates.
Her legs are just bones now. You're all red, and like your embers and stuff are clothes. You're putting them out. You're like, holy shit! And yeah, it just flash fried like 50 feet behind you. And in fact, as you sit there, you kind of feel this breeze that's going by you, and you're like, oh, if the breeze had been coming the other way, we'd be dead. But you're like,
I just lay down. I'm just like, oh my god.
And I can still hear these guys screaming.
yeah, they're kind of like,
Shut up!
all right.
Hey, oh, never mind.
Yeah. So why don't we have Jack? We're not going to go into gory detail. You're doing horrible things
Jack's
to
like,
them.
you guys ever seen
Six. Boom.
Spider caught a fly.
I'm gonna go medieval on these motherfuckers.
So you basically go medieval on those motherfuckers.
I'm gonna read you my poetry.
The screaming intensifies, to say the least. So
They start killing themselves in the drain.
Treacle, this thing is coming for you. This huge tidal wave.
Right.
So you're gonna like turn into it, and you got to give Alex a shot.
Right.
Because what you see at the top, because you guys are really close into this lighthouse.
Right.
You see the leech at the top of the lighthouse with the light behind him. Doing the leech Batman.
I'm at the wheel, but I'm using command to yell at the crew.
Okay. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. Excellent. You want to push yourself?
Well, I could push myself, or I could do a devil's bargain.
You could do a devil's bargain.
So let's do a devil's bargain. We haven't done that in a while.
Okay.
So what would be my devil's bargain?
You would be haunted.
Okay, I'll take that.
You bring something back with you? Oh my god.
All right, so it gives me another dice.
Yes, it does.
All right, so I will be haunted. Why not? Everybody else is fucking haunted around
That's
here.
right.
5.
Okay, you do it. So it's not 6, but you do it. You suffer severe harm. Serious complication. Let's see here. Alex, what are you going to use to fire your thing?
I'm going to use Tinker.
Tinker?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say... All right, I've got an idea. So the you have to turn into the wave. You're yelling at the crew and stuff, and you do it. Except it's just not perfect. But you get him in range. That was the point: is to get him in range and survive the thing.
It's not gonna be pretty.
And you slam against the rocks, and you are like this is all happening at once. You slam into the rocks, it's tearing the bottom of the boat open, and sand is coming out of the gash, right? And
Sand and gas never work.
no, I mean it's not good in this. That's your
Stage 4, Sandy Gash.
So
Bringing you the grit.
Again, not his fault. That was
no,
on you.
yeah, it was.
I can't put that on the board.
No, Sandy Gash. It's going to be a new character. You guys are going to have to do a job for Sandy
Oh my
Gash.
god, she's gonna be
Sandy Gash
so
works for us.
gross. So gross, her labia hang down, but just like a dragging her tail.
Now
in the
this
sand.
isn't.
Now we're getting on the board.
That's on him.
Yeah, it's going to be on him when you meet Sandy Gash. That's for sure.
Right, dragging labia.
Get me Sandy Gash.
Dredging labia.
Sandy Gash, Sandy Gash, Sandy.
Oh, when she
Sandy
sits
Gash.
down at lunch, she just drapes him over each thigh.
All right.
Use it like sandpaper.
Okay, so
Flying nun.
here's what happens after Sandy Gash. So
Fine, none.
everyone's like, "No, put on some pants." Okay, so you slam into the rocks, and remember, this is not a little schooner. These boats are freaking huge. They're enormous, and they're as big as Dr. Prouse needs them to be, too. And so it slams into the rocks and slams into the lighthouse, giving you enough time to basically turn the thing up. You need 2 successes.
To do the calculus. All right,
Yeah.
here's what.
Chad's list,
nice.
Sandy Gash.
No, where Sandy Gash is unrestrained. No.
She's off the chain.
Yeah. Sandy's.
No one can contain
And Harriet Hatchet Wound.
This is a whorehouse in the making, man. We don't have a good name for it. Sandy Gash. and-
Jack knows all these women.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
Well, most of
I
them.
have 2 dice and Tinker.
Yes.
All right. I want to make a Devil's Bargain also
Okay.
to get that extra die.
Yeah. You either need to make 2 rolls to get 2 successes, or you need to make 1 roll and a crit.
Oh well, that's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's not happened tonight at all, has it? Ever in all these games. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, 2 rolls for 2 successes is mathematically in my favor.
It can be
Yes.
assisted, right?
No. I mean, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
you're going to be making 2 rolls,
Okay.
but if the first one is a crit, you don't have to make the second one. I mean,
I grok.
you're just like, pow! Well, of course I hit.
I grok. Well, in that case, I am not going to do the Devil's Bargain.
Okay.
But I can assist, right?
Yeah, you can just.
Oh, then I'll definitely take that assist. Sure. Thank you.
And I'm running out of ghost to haunt you with, so. Oh, well, 6.
1 6.
All right, no, cool.
Well, I guess, yeah, 6 and a 5, but that's
Right.
not a crit.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is Proust makes this harpoon gun, and you can make it better. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Right.
And but in the dream, it's like you're not adjusting the. I mean, it's just like you open it up and you take a wrench up here in your hand, and you just start slamming the wrench into the thing, and all the bolts start changing. Like it just does this matrix. Everything is starting to kind of come together and change and morph mechanically.
Yeah, like Victorian optics.
Right,
Right? Like
yeah.
it would now have some sort of optics on it to give me optimum
Yep.
targeting or whatever. Right?
Yeah, and you guys see this from the bridge, and Trico's like, stop fucking around with the gun and shoot it! Stop making it pretty! And I mean, this thing is beautiful. Like, it's got the brass inlay, it's got like little padding and stuff. Oh man, this thing.
You can fuck it later.
I got 2 dice.
2 dice? Alright, you gotta push yourself. You can't push yourself.
I am going to take that
So-
Devil's Bargain, though.
Oh.
Now, I already have the relationship with said demon. I don't know what Devil's Bargain
Okay,
comes back.
so
or-
here's another thing you can do too. You can push yourself, knock yourself out, but you make the roll, right? Like
so
you still do it.
I have-
so you go down.
I have a stress box left. I can still push myself.
You can still push yourself. You will go into a trauma.
Okay.
But you make the roll. So it's not like you push yourself, you go down, and well, fuck it.
Well, yeah. Let's get ourselves. Let's purchase a trauma.
That's right.
And make this roll. Done. I succeed.
Cool. No.
You can get farm XP.
You have to make the roll.
Oh, I still have to make the roll. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. But
So you push yourself to get the extra dice. Is anyone helping? Blah blah blah. All right. Boom! Yeah. So here's the thing. You have this awesome thing, and it is like from these guys' perspective. And Jack, you have an understanding of what's going on because it's all like connected, right? So you make this thing, and it's beautiful, it's huge, it's gigantic, and it's like you made it real quick, and Treacle's yelling, "You're gonna fuck it later," sort of thing. And then you see the guy up there, and Prowse told you, it's like, okay, I want you to bring us into the lighthouse.
literally reel us in. Right?
Yeah. And you instead tilt it up, lay it on, and you harpoon the guy.
Kick ass.
Like it goes through him, and you pull this lever, it goes chunk chunk, and it whips, and it's a chain, right? Is this harpoon on a chain, and the harpoon goes through him, and the chain goes through, and then you do chunk chunk, and it whips him back, and basically, Prowse, you're standing there with your pipe and your medical admiral thing going on, and Treacle is yelling and screaming, like spinning the wheel, all this stuff. I mean, it's going crazy. And then all of a sudden, the leech slams through the window of the bridge with a harpoon going through him, bleeding, lying there at your feet. Because, of course, that was the plan all along. As the ship carries up and slams into the lighthouse, which causes the lighthouse to fall on on Alexander. Like this sort of consciousness you guys have, Alexander just out of it. He's just gone. You don't know what happened to him. Later on, when you kind of get up and you're looking at the crew and the rats are gone and the goats are kind of calmed down, you kind of do a head count. Alexander's gone. Like his shit isn't there.
Oh shit.
He's just gone. You don't know what happened. All right. The leech is at your feet bleeding out, and like the sand is leaking away. The lighthouse is fading away, and the rocks that the lighthouse was on is sinking into the ocean, and the black water is bubbling up, and off in the distance a leviathan breaches the surface and goes back down again. And after a moment, you are on a calm black ocean standing over him.
You know what your problem is? Nope.
No shit.
Oh, if he calls you buddy, you're in trouble. If he doesn't call you,
Yeah.
you're really fucked.
We're not friends.
Wow.
You know what your problem is? You didn't understand what you were doing. You see, you think this is a realm of dreams. It's not. It's a very real place. I've spent many years here, maybe centuries. I don't know. But this is a realm of very real gods, and I am their minister. And I tried, and you hardened your heart, and I warned you that if you kept with this path, that there were things far, far worse than death that could happen to you. And I would love to fix you. He clicks the bone shears. But I can't. Because I made a promise. He reaches down, breaks off this guy's ghost charm.
Oh, the spear pain?
Yeah. Opens the vial and puts it in his mouth.
Oh.
Fuck. Gross. So, I have this idea for a scene, right? You know, it morphs and it changes as this thing comes up of how I'm going to have you guys roll for the last slice, you know, sort of fight with him. No, that's fucked up. I'm just gonna no, you he's possessed.
Yeah,
right?
and then I look him in the eye and say, "You're welcome, and I'd like to welcome you to the family, buddy."
He looks up and goes, "What's Dr. Proust's ministerial title?"
He doesn't really have one. They just call him Dr. Prout. The minister. I'm sorry, that his alias is the minister. They simply, like, if you go to the nut house and want him, you request the minister.
The guy, he stands up and he pulls the harpoon out of him. Doesn't grimace or anything because he doesn't actually have a harpoon in him. He pulls the harpoon out of him and throws it to the side. Goes, "Thank you, minister."
Oh, of course. Welcome back. Yours was a soul that should never have passed. His won't be missed.
The camera kind of pans away from Proust to the former leech, and you see behind the leech a ghost. And the ghost is Samuel without his mask or his vials and that sort of thing. And he just has this angry look on his face. And he looks over at Treacle. No one sees this.
Not even Treacle?
Not even Treacle.
Okay.
And he just has this just death stare at Treacle. And we're back to the raft. These guys start waking up.
Who put shit in my mouth?
I don't know. Somebody shit my pants.
That too, but I figured that was mine.
Unc, you okay? I'm like helping him up.
Oh my god. My head hurts. My ass hurts.
I know a great hospital.
No.
Jackie, get up.
Oh, remember, Alex is not there.
Right. Because I assume that this is my trauma. Yeah.
I'm looking around.
Or part of that.
You said the leech wasn't on the raft before? Is the leech on the raft now?
I
or-
think the idea was he was actually in it, right? Like he was
Yeah.
actually in the.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Is his body up here now on the raft? Or no?
I hadn't really decided what I was going to do with the leech yet, because I had not expected you to possess him, which is good.
I assumed he spirit walked into his own thing.
I kind of had in mind that, like, he was down the corridor.
Well, you described his voice as being behind us.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you said dream time or whatever
right,
it was.
right. Yeah.
Time to dream. Or
Yeah.
you said the voice was behind us.
So I'm going to say that he was, like, in my mind, I kind of pictured the leech as being, like, semi-lucid. Like, he was mobile.
Yeah.
But not like he wasn't... Well, for one, he wasn't going to kill you guys because that's the game, right? You know, that's cheating.
Well, and I would guess when Reggie threw himself out of the dream, he probably hid because he's not going to want to fight Reggie.
So essentially what is going to happen is, as you guys are talking and picking yourselves up, and I assume killing the crew, who are, by the way, their minds are broken.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. They're
At this
not dying. They're going to the hospital.
They need to.
I had them tied up. So,
Yeah.
like, while I got to a safe spot,
Yeah.
I tied them up. Made sure.
These guys, when you look at them and kind of examine, their minds are broken.
Now, we're putting them on a cart.
Yeah.
They're going to the hospital, and one day they will be part of our gang.
So as you guys are doing
Take all
this,
their shit first.
They might insist on different names. Don't ask any questions.
right? As you guys are kind of doing this, and you notice Alexander's gone, the leech walks up.
Oh, no.
I pull my gun and point at him.
He's not who you think he is. You're still a bit confused.
That's not the same guy.
Didn't I tell you to have faith?
You say that all the time.
And maybe one day you'll learn it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can somebody tell me what happened to Alexander?
Where is he?
He's
I don't know. He just disappeared.
Oh,
Did you drop him?
No, he was on the fucking deck. All of his shit gone. He's gone. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Did
to
he
him.
fall overboard?
No.
We got to go back.
No.
He didn't fall overboard. He was right here.
Have faith.
Again.
Listen, you've thought you were in a sewer, you've thought you were on a beach, you've thought you were on a boat. And maybe you were in all those places, maybe you were in none of them. The distance between here and there, wherever there is never so far as you think it is. Alexander's well within reach. You just have to believe that we'll find him.
You're saying he's okay.
I'm saying we'll find him.
Good enough for me. I start rifling through them to see if they got anything on them.
No offense, Doc, but I don't want to go in your brain ever again.
You guys were in his brain.
We were. Isn't that what that was?
I wasn't.
Yeah, he left before Proust took over the dream.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, you were in a place where Samael played, but I work.
I don't want to go to your work anymore.
Samael, air quotes, Samael is like,
I'll give you a new name for him.
yeah.
Crash right up on him.
He's like stretching his fingers and looking at his hands, and he's like touching things, touching boxes, and he goes up to the goats, and he's like running his hand through their fur. He's just like fascinated by this. He's kind of not sexual. I was just like, because he's a ghost, he has not touched something in.
Friend, do you know what all these things on you do? Proust is motioning to the guy that's leech gear. No. Then Proust takes it off. He begins just removing it from him. And he piles it up and he hands it in a stack to Treacle and says, you can give this to Alexander to expand his repertoire once we find him. I trust he'll put it to a holier purpose.
Okay. Let's kind of set it down in the...
Oh, this guy's got nice boots. I got nice boots now.
You're going to have to cut the toes out of them.
I have the tools for that.
Yeah.
He does.
No, I don't like this game anymore. You guys are too gross. With the sort of, there's an undercurrent of worry about Alexander. Proust is like, it's okay, have faith, Alexander will come back. Everybody is still kind of worried, but you're, guiding the goats home and, basically kind of cleaning up, and
we totally have some goats now.
You do have two goats.
Hell yeah.
And
cha-ching, cha-ching.
And you're kind of like, the camera is kind of like pulling back, and it, from this activity, no great cliffhanger or, hard words at the end, banter, and the screen goes dark, and it says, end of prologue.
Ooh. End of...
We're on a train. The train is going very, very fast. Alexander turns around to Jack, and Alexander has a big scar going down his face across his eye, and goes, all right, just don't fall off. You're not going to like it out there. Scene changes again. Callum is standing in front of you going, I really like the hand, but I keep breaking it, and he has a mechanical brass hand. You are standing there with Proust, and you're looking in the window of a engine compartment, and the scenery's passing by really fast. And you look at Proust and go, ready? Stay tuned for the next episode.
So I love this, and let me give you some very, very specific reasons on why. First of all, there is a view of in writing that an editor is someone who comes in and fixes your stuff by conforming it to their vision. A good editor is one who comes in and instead looks at what you're doing and helps you do what you were trying to do better. They don't conform it to themselves. They don't rewrite it, Rian Johnson style. They instead say, this is what you were going for. Let's help you get there.
Yeah, when you work with a good editor, it feels like they're pulling the best you out of you.
Exactly. I did not.
It's hard to find a good
I
actor.
did not totally understand. I didn't grok my own character until this session. And it was this game and the scenes you gave and the way that you responded to his actions and the way that you explained the ways he could interact with the world that made me understand this character. I thought it was, I know you're a big fan of Inception. In my brain, the movie I went to was an old 80s or 90s B-movie horror flick called Dreamscape.
Don't you dare call that a B movie. That's goddamn brilliance right there. That's a goddamn... That's a Queen movie. That's brilliant.
But that's how Dreamscape ends.
It's a terrible piece of shit.
But that's how Dreamscape ends. Is the people that are stuck in there figure out that they can control it as much as the other person can.
Right. That's what I was going for too. And thank you, by the way, for kind words. That's what I was going for too. I didn't want to do an Inception thing where you guys were kind of, it's someone else's dream that you're manipulating a situation. It is, you're grabbed and you're trapped.
Yeah.
And it is a puzzle that's trying to kill you until you learn how to work the puzzle and then work it against them.
Yeah, and that's why
you smash the puzzle.
As a player,
I didn't even know you were going for Ghost Puncher, and I'm like, man, this is the perfect setup for the Ghost Punching thing.
That was like from the beginning. My whole plan was I took that first, but I really wanted that. And I was like, all right, next thing I do the Ghost Puncher.
As a player, I intentionally pumped the brakes a couple of times because the obvious things to do, especially while I was still trying to grok my character and how the world works, was one, put a kid there. But we made an agreement as a group, we're not going to do horrific things to kids.
Right.
So that's why I had Prowse go for the lighthouse, because he wasn't, if it's like he gets that kid, this is not going to be a discussion.
Sure.
But the second thing is...
My safety valve was, it's not really a kid.
Yeah.
And that was my assumption, is that when Jack gets to him and starts shaking him, we're going to see this isn't really a kid.
And I was assuming that too, but it's still...
The metaphor was that guy, so Samuel, who, the name is from something, by the way.
It's Kabbalistic, I believe.
It's from Ascension, the card game.
Oh, it's actually the name, I think, in Kabbalism or something like that. One of the sort of esoteric things of supposedly a higher angel.
Yeah. In Ascension, the card game, the bad guy is Samiel, the trickster.
Yeah, and it's because Samiel was a fallen angel.
Right.
If I remember right, in mythology or whatever,
right.
yeah, Samiel was a fallen angel.
So
he's also a trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that guy, the thing, it was a setup for trying to convey what was going on. The Samiel had this electrophasmic, or this, it's not electrophasmic, this Leviathan oil essence dream thing he made, this gas he made, which causes a shared dream. And the shared dream is everyone who inhales it. Except the advantage is if you do it enough and you practice that enough, you can control it. And that's what he'd been practicing with the crew that he was not in charge of. And everyone was like freaked out and didn't like him, which is the guy who you were talking to was just like, I didn't actually want this to happen like this, but, leech is what you're going to do. So
Leech is going to leech.
Leeches are going to leech. Leeches are fucking weird. At least the chemical ones are.
I love how every time we mention how creepy leeches are, he has to defend that Alex is a leech. He's like, oh, you're not creepy.
He isn't playing the gross fucking crazy leech guy.
It's just funny. Trying to make him feel better. Like, leeches are fucking creepy. Except you. You're fine. You're cool. Gadgets.
When my player harpsichord achieves its final form and becomes an automaton, you're crushing people.
Here's the thing.
While playing a beautiful ditty.
It strikes me that you can have two kinds of leeches.
Right.
A Robert Louis Stevenson leech, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or you can have a Jules Verne leech.
Yeah, which I'm definitely in the Jules Verne.
Right, you're playing a Jules Verne leech.
So the
which
kid
is my preferred one when I'm doing leech.
So the kid was the hint that it's a shared thing, and that this crew member hated it. He was kind of more like Jack, right? He hated it. He didn't want to be a part of it, and he's afraid of it. And so his will made him be like the scared child until he was threatened and convinced by Samuel to kind of dig in, at which point he became not only adult, he became this 10-foot killing machine.
Right. Okay.
When Jack went for the kid, I thought I wasn't going to fight him, but I thought he was going to fight me.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to defend myself against him.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit.
And there were different parts in there where it's just like...
Well, and I really thought that could be a thing, too.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah.
Because I know that Reggie has this thing for protecting kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jack knows at this point, he doesn't think that's a kid.
Right.
That's another one of the supernatural bullshit.
Yeah, and Jack happened to be right up, which is cool because it was playing with Reggie's perceptions and stuff. Like, and that was another thing where, like, with the perception thing where Treacle elbowed Jack in the face, it was not a haha got you, but it was actually put in there to let you guys know that the dream could be manipulated. Now, it was being manipulated by the bad guys, so later on, when you figure out that you can influence the dream, you could start doing the same kinds of things with it.
And it struck me as the juxtaposition was
And it was also funny reverse.
on the well, I'd say bad guy, but we're all bad guys.
Yeah,
on the antagonist side, what was primarily going on was one man's ego. On our side, it was one man's madness and four men's willpower.
Right.
Willpower can be encouraged to be strong. Ego and madness, guess which one is more easily broken?
Yeah.
It is a lot easier to take someone down a peg than it is to fix their brain.
Well, and in Jack's case, it wasn't even willpower. It was faith. He has faith in Proust.
Yeah.
So when Proust suddenly is able to start manipulating things, he's going to do whatever Proust wants him to, because this is his bag.
Now,
Jack.
see, that makes me uncomfortable with Jack. I mean, again, this is all out of character. Because
he has blind faith.
Because he's a fucking true believer.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous.
And he's a true believer of the guy who's starting the cult.
Yes.
That's why, like I said, that's why Reggie's trying to learn how to fight ghosts. Because the whole thing is, the only reason he even, is all about Proust is because he saved him from a ghost or a demon or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Jack, I can punch those fucking things. I can protect you. You don't have to follow this guy.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see which path Jack goes down.
I just like if the opposition are the antagonists, I would like that we are the protagonists.
The protagonists, right? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about what I did in this game or how it worked or any of the?
No,
because it was kind of
No, I just got to say one more thing, which is not a question, it's just a comment, which is I was enjoying this game, but in the course of the session, it went from enjoyment to I am now enthralled by this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it went from game is a solid A, I love the characters, I love what's going on, to now 2 weeks from now can't come fast enough.
Yeah.
And I mean that, and I'm not. That's not me.
It's just really fun. I love the setting. I love everything in it. I love how it's being run. And so far, I just like everybody's characters.
This is if SOG is my jam, where I can run it like nobody else can. Maybe I don't know. It seems Blaze is very. You run this game in a way I've never seen you run another game, and I don't mean simply the moment to moment. I mean at a quality level, and you run good games.
Basically, all the other games you run are shit. I mean, this one's really good.
We've gone from a low F to a high F,
right,
but it is better.
Progress.
You finally got here.
Yay! I would agree. Having been in multiple Chad games, there is something about this system that is catered to Chad.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything that you like to do in a game, this gives you mechanics for doing, and it supports your natural game style.
It supports imagination.
Yeah.
The whole game is imagination. So
the in other games like D&D and stuff, it is the rules are about how you can you interact through the world through the rules, or you are just talking role playing, which is fine, but there's nothing wrong with that. And there are constraints. There are constraints of fairness. There are constraints of not screwing with people and that sort of thing, because game masters screw with people and they fuck with people. I mean, you, Dan, know this better than any of us.
Yeah.
They fuck with people. And I understand why you, Dan, and why everybody, people don't like to be fucked with. My take, though, is that we are telling a story, and if I need Alexander to get his front teeth knocked out by Treacle because I'm going to trick him so that I can lay down a hint that grows into a seed that grows into a plant later on. I need that to fucking happen. I can't do it in D&D, right?
Well, and it's a very different sensation when Treacle elbows Alex in the mouth versus you dominate person on his half-orc barbarian, and then he fucking crits me with his great axe.
It's just rage, Eric. What are you doing? Just rage.
It's a different sensation.
Well, the game lets us push back without rules lawyering. Without rules lawyering.
It allows me to fuck with the game, the story, your guys. This game is all about me removing your golden box.
Yeah.
It is totally about that, and the game tells you be a fan of the players. Don't weasel out of it. Don't fuck with them. But man, you can hurt them. You can go crazy to advance the story and to advance their story. And the rules don't give me anything. They give you tools. Like, Mike, you are all about, fuck it, he fucks me in the face, man, that's awesome. Trauma, that does haunt me too.
I want trauma, I want too.
Right. Other players might not want all that.
Right.
They don't want all that. The game gives them tons of escape valves to release that pressure and say, okay, no, you didn't.
And you can still pay a penalty for trying to resist.
Yeah.
So, like, I made a resist roll. Eric made a resist roll. He got a 6 on his, took no stress. I got a 4. I took 2 stress.
Mm-hmm.
I paid to resist that. And I would rather take the stress than the consequences.
I do like that you
rough.
can roll to resist that.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Well,
Because you can make something that's a big deal into nothing.
Just like the game wants the game master to reach into the golden box and say, no, fuck you. I need this tension to happen in the story. Your character is fucking devastated. Like, I just destroy your character, and you have these tools to look at me and go, no, you don't. And it's not an argument, because the outcome of that is to say, okay, you're right, I don't do that. But let's talk about what happens. So you as a player wanting something out of the scene, and I'm wanting something out of the scene, so let's make that happen. Yeah. Or
good old fashioned compromise.
Yeah, it opens it up to the story.
Right, it's conversation, you're not being dictated to by some benevolent guy hiding behind a screen telling you that this is the way it is.
So there's a gentleman on our Discord, fan of our show, named Xylo. Hi, Xylo. Who asked me a very pointed question that was a very valid question of, is there a long, ongoing story with this? Or are you just doing episodes and kind of, he didn't say it like this, but are you just kind of treading water? Because, there was a discussion of maybe a short game or a long game, and there was like all kind of stuff behind it and whatnot. And I will say, at first, it was episodic because I needed to feel you guys out. Mm-hmm. I needed to figure out what I wanted out of it. And also, this was all to me kind of culminating. This was the prologue. From you guys sitting in that cafe and meeting Lard up into you guys had to do a job. You had to establish yourself in your territory, and you kicked the fucking bluecoats in the nuts, which I was not expecting. That was wonderful. To there was retaliation against you because, as Dr. Prowse pointed out, they had to know exactly where the safe was and exactly how.
It was personal. I mean,
what happened then? That's not somebody just sticking random bombs up on a ceiling.
Yeah.
Something's going on. What's going on? Nobody knows. But it's like there was a retaliation and a recovery from the retaliation. And to me, it's like, okay, this established who you guys are. And so I popped it. It's like, okay, that's the end of the prologue. And now I did a little teaser trailer of what is coming up in the main thing.
So one of the other questions that was asked of us, I think this was asked on the Facebook group, so you didn't see that one. Someone asked for a list of all of the house rules that you are using. And I replied,
none?
Well, I replied back, the only ones really,
Reputation.
you are...
Oh, I cut some stuff
You're
out.
cutting the reputation stuff.
The faction.
The faction
stuff.
reputation.
Yeah.
And they pointed out, well, You're supposed to every roll determine whether it's desperate and all of that.
Yeah, nobody's got time
And
for
I'm
that.
like, yeah, no, he's simplifying that too.
It's
but
it's
other than
by
that,
saying.
if we are varying from the rules, it is not intentional.
It's an accident, and we correct.
Exactly, and that's what I clarified. We aren't varying from the rules except for those 2 ways to simplify.
What about the reroll?
Oh, well,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
That's-
yeah.
I didn't know if that was a thing.
That's not even
That's
a
a
house
group.
That's like a
Tradition.
Yes, that's a gaming tradition that goes back to like the at least early 90s.
Yeah.
I do it in all of my games, like my
Yeah.
D&D game on Mondays.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Whoever does the recap, they get a free reroll.
The composer being passed around. That's a group tradition. That's
Right.
not a.
I have Bach at home. I'll bring him next time. I even made a note because I keep forgetting.
Usually the next one down was Verdi. But
But we can handle 2 bottles.
we can
I
handle-
found a bus that looks just like that. That's Bach. So you're gonna fucking deal with it.
I mean,
I'm so sorry. I couldn't find.
I'm down.
yeah.
All right. Are we going to do the end of session XP and stuff?
That's up to you guys. That has nothing to do with me.
All right, let's hammer it fast. I'll go first. So, already did the desperate action thing.
I'm gonna get some water.
At the end of each section for each item, okay, blah blah blah.
Oh, did we find out if
Amber
if
sent me
crits
a
give you
photo.
extra?
If the what?
Crits give you extra, or is it
Oh,
just a
no,
success?
I don't think so. It's
I don't
every
think
time
so.
you roll in desperate, regardless of whether it's a
Okay,
success
I just
or
want to make
failure.
sure.
Okay.
What is our current limit on dots? Can we go up to 4 now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I did not do any limits. I think that's just on character
I did an address challenge.
okay,
with
well
technical
then-
skill or mayhem.
No,
I think that
yeah.
yes, I did. Oh, sorry.
No, the gang, the crew needs a training thing
To get us to 4 dot. Yeah, you can only get to 3.
Yeah.
So okay, you
Can
address.
we?
You can't just do 1-arm push-ups in your apartment. You have to have like a training thing the crew owns.
I have
like
a whole boxing gym.
not built yet.
We have a
Well, yeah, I have to roll on that too.
We have a training for prowess.
Yeah. Well, let's train for.
So
Because that's the reason I'm asking is I think I'll get enough XP now
I
to
can-
fill in another one, and I could potentially do 4 in rec if I can go up to 4.
I can do 4 in skirmish.
okay, going down mine, you would 1 XP if you did it, 2 XP if you did it more than once. I'm gonna request 4 XP because you address the challenge with knowledge or arcane powers. I did that more than once. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. You won't shut up about it. But on the flip side, you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. No, he was enjoying it. He wasn't struggling. So I would say 2 and 2, 220 is my request.
Yep.
Is that acceptable to the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the same for me. I addressed situations with violence or coercion multiple times, even the coercion, because how I tried to help him was I grabbed him and commanded. And I certainly was showing off his fear of the supernatural and the heritage and all of that.
I'm good with that. But with your vice or traumas, I mean, you started freaking out a couple times. I mean,
But I don't actually have a trauma yet, other than I'm
Yeah.
role-playing like I
Wow.
have.
When they
Okay.
say trauma, they mean
they mean the game mechanic
Because-
of vice and trauma.
So
okay.
when he comes back, when Mike comes back, Alexander is going to have a trauma, and every time he role plays the trauma, which has to be like this hurts him and everyone around him, not just like I'm just afraid of mice. It
It's
has
not
to
some bullshit Savage Worlds. I've got a phobia and I'm trying to
Right.
mail it in to get a fucking chip. You piece of shit.
Yep.
You know who I'm talking to.
My character tells the truth. 3 points.
right. So when he plays it as it screws him or even screws you guys, he gets XP for it. And that's another valve too. So like you can get a trauma. You don't have to play it up, and it's a choice. Like he could say, "Well, my trauma is I'm afraid of ghosts."
Oh,
And
when I
ghosts-
get one, I play it up.
yeah, and when ghosts come by, he does not have to roleplay being afraid of ghosts. He just doesn't get XP if he doesn't do it. So
Yeah, I think that for me, I think that my usual 3 address challenge with technical skill and mayhem. I think I did that at least twice, and then express heritage or background. I think that I was sufficiently studious and academic.
you have homework, by the way.
Okay.
I am not going to dictate to you what happened.
Okay.
So
Oh no, dude! I'm in.
Yep.
Trauma.
So
I know I spelled it wrong, but I don't care.
when you decide what happened to your character. And so when the next session we do is going to be like, a couple of weeks in game, whatever.
Right.
Basically, Alexander just kind of comes walking back in.
Right.
And what happened. So it's
right. With a scar over his right eye.
He has a scar over his right eye.
And scar came from the single fingernail of some demonic entity.
Ooh, shit.
It turns
Just remind me, when I look in the mirror, every time I shave, every time I brush my hair, I'm there.
You've only got one. I've got 3.
Ooh.
But it's that he paid for that.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So that was the special package on
You addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. I don't think I did that.
No, it was very straightforward.
For Treacle, this whole thing was very outside of his comfort zone, and that's kind of the way I played it. Was because he knows people, he knows situation, he doesn't know anything about this shit. So that's why he was just kind of out of it.
The gang sheet.
Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, and background. Well, I think he did in that he took a protective stance.
Yeah.
For his boys.
I was going to ask, does that count? Because, I mean, the entirety of, the only thing I could claim to for that would be the same thing. That I was worried and I made sure everybody was okay. And, but that, I don't know if I could do it. His is better than mine, I guess.
I have to say, my favorite scene in the whole thing was when the ship captain was trying to, or the crew captain was trying to negotiate with you guys. And Treacle was like, no, fuck it, I don't care. Take it, and it's a loss. And everyone, and you swayed everybody around
because he said reputation,
yeah.
right? And you're talking about my name, nothing, money. It's the only goddamn thing I have.
So Josh Casey was angry. Someone's messing with his mind, with reality. The leech needs to die.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So your first one, what was it?
It's addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy.
Calculate. Well,
I would maybe give you calculation on taking control of the ship crew.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys.
The beliefs, drives, heritage, and background are kind of rough for me because I don't see how any of mine.
So, what are your
the other background?
Your
one
heritage is the Dagger Isles, which is we didn't do anything with that.
No.
When we did our
Underworld
Zero,
for background,
we established that Proust and I are cousins.
Devices,
and
super
kissing cousins.
Yeah.
So
Which,
it's you keep saying
fighting.
You got to face. You got to face. Like you're weird. I love you, but you're fucking weird.
Fighting.
You know, I was kind of
your beliefs,
going to that background of
drives,
he still hangs out with Proust and he does things with Proust because they're blood, not because he necessarily believes anything he says or understands anything that's going on. It's just all right, cuz whatever.
That's all I can think.
Whatever.
But I don't think
so.
I mean,
and then my last one is struggled with issues of vice or traumas. There
have been sessions where I got very little. This one,
because it was pushing your buttons.
Exactly.
I average 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Usually,
yeah. Proust. I knew Proust was going to be the pin in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But the challenge was to make it not the Dr. Proust show.
Sure.
And to bring you guys in, because like you said, it's out of Treacle's wheelhouse here.
Right.
But I still need to bring you guys in for it.
Well, I think that's something that certainly, and I don't say this just to be self-deprecating, it's just true. In the years that I have been gaming, one of the things that I've noticed that you guys both do, Chad and Dan specifically, because I haven't really gamed underneath the rest of you, that you guys do a very good job of distributing spotlight. And if a player's not feeling it or they're not responding, you're not pissy or pouty about it like I would get. You're like, okay, cool. You're not feeling it. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm working with you. You're not giving me anything back. Great. I'll move to the next person. I'll come back to you. And me, I get kind of like, dude, come on, man. This is fucking
because everybody hates you, right?
Well, yeah. No, that's not true.
You're a fucking idiot.
Well, yeah, that is true.
I tried to adhere to one of my own tenets is that even when you're not the center, either the center of attention, you're not having the spotlight, or even if you're not effective. And I like to use this when, like let's say in Shadowrun, and the Decker decides to do their thing, and it ends up taking up the whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's the time for people on the outside to start developing character stuff.
Yeah.
You're not doing mechanic stuff, but you can still do character stuff. You can still communicate with each other. You can still.
Oh, I loved it when Treacle grabbed his boys, to protect him. Because he's so gruff and angry. You're doing this, and it's all my ambition and all this stuff. Fucking...
And then he elbows Alex. Well, don't stand so damn close. That's something my grandpa would say.
Oh, god damn, that's real life.
Yeah, that's that old love.
Yep.
Oh, god damn it. Are you okay?
It's old love.
Shake it off. You'll be
That's
all
right.
right.
Rub some dirt on it, boy.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You want a sody pop?
Sody pop.
Sort of pop. You wanna lick my moose knuckle? just outside the pants.
That's old. That's outside the pants.
Yeah, I don't remember my
Otherwise, we have to explain to your grandma.
I don't remember my grandfather ever saying that one to me.
That was doing on me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a new one at first.
I guess my grandfather loved me in a different way.
Yeah.
It's always new
Non-physical.
until it ain't.
Alright, who has good eyesight that can actually read the crew XP?
And this is real.
I have great eyesight.
I need to start bringing. I brought them a couple times, but I forgot my reading glasses tonight, and that made it challenging.
I need, now that we have beaten COVID, I need to schedule an eye doctor appointment. I need to get
I
my
do too.
focus.
Oh, I can also punch ghosts in the face now.
No, you took it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like, I only needed 2 XP.
See, I ended up filling between the desperate XP and then the XP from the night. I just I put a second dot in study and a first dot in sway.
Yeah, I was gonna put it in prowess, but yeah, we have to get that thing first before I can do forward.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to find anything that actually talks about that, how we get to 4, or where the limit is.
I believe it's the...
It is something to work out
Because we have the training thing for prowess,
for prowess. Yeah.
if that's what we need.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
It should be over here.
Yeah.
Layer, secure prowess right there. Training.
Yeah. Gather info. Yeah. I think it's. I don't know where it's at in the thing. I thought it was that. Also, we need to do the payoff too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we want to handle the whole payoff, heat, downtime, entanglements?
Yeah, let's do that. That doesn't take too long.
Okay.
What do you want to do the XP for this? I'll read it out loud.
I filled up my playbook, so I took connected. So
Mhm.
during downtime, you get a +1 result when you acquire an asset or reduce heat.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do the XP
All right.
real quick.
So, execute a successful
Plays into
battle,
I got a guy
extortion,
coming in.
sabotage, or smash and grab operation. Yes.
It was a battle.
Yep.
I would say it was a great success.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 1.
It did not occur twice. We just did
Yeah.
that.
You
So
did.
that's 1.
Well, and that's XP on there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just marking it
Oh,
on
gotcha.
my paper. This.
Got it.
Let's see. Contend with challenges above your current station.
No, I think that these guys
I
are.
think
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
perfectly capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
I think
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
one we did.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
The
you
leech
guys-
they hired must have come from somewhere, and now suddenly he works for us, and the
Right.
safe is back.
Yeah, and you guys aren't keeping this quiet
Nope.
either. It's just like,
Well, actually, I would think it's a big deal because somebody attacked us, stole something of ours,
Well-
and we basically killed them all.
Well, we make it really public that now they are being admitted to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck with
We
us, and you end up in the
Yeah, we
mental
fucked them up
institution.
so bad.
Yeah.
That-
We are so monstrous that we didn't kill them. We ruined their minds and left them to rot with ruined minds.
Yeah.
yep.
Last one: express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Yeah,
And this as a crew, you did this.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we were not going to let our rep and our money go.
Like I said, my favorite scene of the whole thing was when Treacle was like, "No, we'll just take the L. You can have this because you know there's nothing in it."
Because from Treacle's perspective, and I even said this to them, is there's nothing in that box that's worth your lives. But then it was like, well, it's our rep, and we can't do this, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's why I also wanted. I said in there too. It's just like, okay, in this game, this isn't going to be like D&D where you either kill the dragon or you kill the dragon, right? Loss can be handed to you, And the loss I would have handed to you, I would have taken away your guys' secrets. I think you have like a secret stash or something.
We have a secure vault.
If you have a secure vault, I would have taken away the secure vault.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been like, and it's not like a project clock to get it back. It's like, no, you guys have to wrap up and buy that back.
So we have three XP to spend.
Okay.
All right. And then how far are we from an advancement?
Was it 5? Yeah.
So 2 more.
Okay.
Do you use the XP on the layer and stuff too, or is that
No, that's for
something different?
that's for crew advancement.
Okay.
So if the crew moves up a tier, then we start getting the stuff from that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the tier stuff, that's like you get rep, and then it's like rep and turf, and you spend coin, and then you spend rep. You drain rep down to buy turf. I mean, it's a whole
Yeah,
thing,
it's this whole
right?
thing.
Yeah, and that buys tier, and so you can spend it in different ways.
Did we get heat?
Okay, so we're gonna figure that out now. Okay, you guys ready for the
Yep.
downtime?
Yeah.
All right. So between now and the next session in game is going to be a pretty good amount of time. I'm thinking like a month, month, 2 months at the outside most. So you guys have a lot of like day-to-day life and also working your territory and all that sort of stuff. But the meta is when you guys make just enough in your territory to pay the bills, right? You guys make your real money with the slam dunks, with the jobs. Okay, so the payoff, the crew earns 2 rep by default. If the target of the score is a higher tier, take 1, you were not. If it's a lower tier, -1, nope. You also earn a coin reward based on the nature of the operation. I would say no one was paying you to do this.
I mean, we
but
did
you
some
shook them
pocket
down.
robbing, so yeah, I was going to say 2 coin, the bottom one.
Yeah, and I will give you.
And we took all the stuff they had on them.
I'll give you a choice. Do you guys can
They
either
got their goats.
you guys can either keep the goats or sell the goats. So I'm going to give you 2
You
coin.
have any place stall?
Dude, that's curry for months.
Is that already filled in? Is that why these are filled?
You can make all kinds of milk
Oh,
chocolate.
I think it's filled in because
Because of PDF.
yeah, because of the PDF. So you're going to
So-
need to get a blank PDF
Yep.
to remove those coins.
So we have this coin, right?
Yeah.
4.
Okay, so you have a choice. You can either have 3 coin and no goats because you sold the goats, or you can have 2 coin and the goats. And the goats are an asset. That's what the assets.
2 coin of the goats.
I'll defer to Treacle. I agree with Brandon, but I'll
Yeah,
defer to Treacle.
I think keeping the goats, as long as we have the place to stable them, which I don't know if that's a thing. So if
Yeah.
it,
I mean, if we get
Having-
into your territory, we
we just
Yeah.
like kick out some tenants and
Yeah.
make them let
fuck
them,
out of here.
let the goats live in their house.
So,
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean-
I need some of my goat shit.
Tie them up out back behind the
so
candy
right there, just
shop.
write
Right.
2 goats.
Yeah, so yeah,
What's
having,
going to happen?
Goat
The city's going to
bales.
smell bad?
Yeah.
is it a male and female? Can we breed them?
Fuck
That's
yes.
a project. That's a project.
Goat breeding.
Right.
We have goat dales.
We've given up.
What about
like
what
it.
about if I just wanted to make a step ladder
Yeah, I
and
knew you were
charge a
going there.
coin?
Yeah, I knew you were going with this.
Is that a project?
Okay, so here's
And a
another
tail lifter.
here's another thing that okay. So the question on do we follow the rules? And I'm gonna leave this up to you guys who want to do it.
Are you really going to let them charge people to fuck these goats?
Oh.
No, they,
He didn't say no.
they can
So,
do it
now-
for free.
I'm gonna are you guys getting fucked by the red sashes? So it is part of the rules that subtract 1 coin equal to your tier plus 1 if you pay a tithe to the ward boss. Remember, you have a patch in red sash territory that they allow you to have.
And I'm assuming we ain't nowhere big enough to fuck with them yet.
So we got to pay our cut.
Yeah,
You got to pay a cut.
Yeah.
That's part of the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's our rent. We call that our rent.
Yeah. Tier plus 1, and we are subtract coin equal to your tier plus 1 if you pay the tithe. We are
We're
at
still
tier
tier
0,
zero,
so it's 1 coin.
So we'd lose, so we get 1 coin, so 2.
And I mean, eventually, because as your tier goes up, you're paying more. Spectral coin of tier plus one, so it's tier. So your tier 5 plus 1 means you're paying out 6 coin to this. 6 coin is a standard score with decent loot. I mean, that's like your whole fucking payday.
Yeah.
You just hand over. When you get to that level of tier, then you start asking questions of, well, why don't we just tell Lard to go fuck himself?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not going to go
pay
kill
us?
Yeah, maybe we're not going to go kill him
Right.
and his people, but we're going to have to be like, yeah, you want your tithe? Why don't you come down here and get it?
See, I was going to go pyramid scheme, and I was going to go the other direction, and then why don't we have half a dozen other gangs that are paying tribute to us?
Right.
Right.
All our fucking peons who think that they're getting one over on me. All of a sudden it's like, you know what? I'll set out a little spot for you. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that you have your
I do
cohort.
love it. They think they're
you-
smart enough for that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm only going to kill Big Garrett as an example, and then the rest
get
of
to
them.
I'm just going to
4.
cut his legs off.
To get to 4, we have to get mastery, which means we have to get one of each of the training.
are you fucking kidding me?
I finally found it in the
Yeah.
book.
Because the training is not a gym,
I haven't in PDF
right?
form.
The
I don't
training
have a physical
is
copy
like a kill box room, right? And it's
I don't
like
need anything.
a pickpocket lab and
Okay,
Yeah, I
all
got
that
one.
sort of shit.
So we have to get
Yeah.
insight,
I found,
prowess,
that
resolve,
one on
and
sale.
playbook
Yeah.
before we can get
Marked down
mastery.
half
Yeah.
price.
Yeah, so I had it
So
digitally,
essentially,
still
what
have
you're
it.
making is a scoundrel academy,
Yeah.
and then when you go above that, you guys are like elite, sort of.
Scoundrel Academy.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of dice you're throwing at problems at that point. Okay, so 2 is the heat. After a score or conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat. Add +1 heat for a high-profile, well-connected
We
target.
really only had one heat. Wow.
No, that's what
We've
we'll
been
figure
paying
out.
down heat.
No, we had one heat from the last.
Oh,
Yeah,
you- I
That's
thought-
because I
Yeah, no, we've
remember
been paying down
I
heat.
went bragging the first time.
Yeah, and I went behind you and cleaned it up.
Okay, so
Believe
All
what
right,
we
so
did.
that's your call, man. Were these high profile or well connected? I mean, I don't obviously know.
so
who
these
are
guys
for.
weren't, but the blue coats who kicked in the nuts were.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Your cohort rated their thing. I'm gonna actually say you guys got 2 fucking heat,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
and there was killing involved.
Yeah, we
from
killed
here.
we killed blue coats
Add plus
with these
one-
characters
Hey.
and the other ones.
Okay, so
So that's 4 heat.
okay, yeah, we ducked at least the
You know
hostile.
what Uncle Treacle says about a dead blue coat, right? It's a good start.
Kill a few more.
You said 4.
That's
4
funny.
heat.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's funny.
because you kill. I'm doing a bonus heat because it was blue coats. I mean, these are the guys who put up wanted posters, right?
Right.
Heat's
it-
good though, right?
No.
No. These are,
Only when it's cold.
1 heat. Okay, so high profile, you kick the blue coats in the nuts. I'm doing Game Master +1 heat because of fucking blue coats.
that's totally fair.
And then you killed them, so that's 2 heat. So that we're at 4 heat. It did not.
That's not fair, Chad. You put us in that
Wait a
situation.
minute. Wait a minute. I resist that.
You put us in that situation to kill those blue coats, and you know that.
That's right.
You gave Brodor a character that had rage potion. And you think he's not going to start killing people?
Well, now, I was on Team Chad until this argument.
Now I'm at a disadvantage, so fuck it. I'm out. Okay, so 4 heat is. Now, what you guys did in the sewers was crazy, but it effectively didn't generate any heat whatsoever. But the blue coats and the cohort follow-up is
Right.
4 heat.
We
Loud,
didn't even technically kill anyone.
loud and chaotic with high exposure. When you guys crawl out of the sewers, you guys have your wanted posters every fucking where. You're like, what just happened?
That's awesome.
Doesn't even look like me.
Don't worry.
Send the
Deputy
peons to
Biter
turn
will
them.
come. Deputy Biter will be the one investigating this
Deputy
case.
Fighter. No. Damn it.
All right, so after the payoff, we roll dice. Wayne rolls dice.
Sure, when it lower is actually better.
Equal to your wanted level, and read the results according to your heat. So you guys have not achieved a wanted level yet, correct?
No.
Okay.
No, we still have 4.
All right. So roll dice equal to your wanted level.
Somebody.
Which is 0 or
One.
1 or what?
It's gonna be 1.
Okay.
And read the results according to your heat. Okay,
So our heat is 4, so it's
1.
none. So gang trouble or questioning. Gang trouble. One of your gangs or cohorts causes trouble due to their flaw. What is your cohort's flaw?
My connected ability says during downtime you get a +1 result level when you acquire an asset or reduce heat. That's not this, right?
Yeah, reducing heat comes after.
Okay.
I don't know where that would be actually.
Cohort.
Cohort.
We have thugs.
Yeah.
And I don't think they
I
have
think it's a brohort.
I don't think we defined a.
Well, if it's Mabel, then it's a
flaw.
brawl.
Mercenaries, thugs, and killers.
Yeah. You guys can define their flaw. Okay, so
They're
you
aggressive.
They're ugly, big, bad, stupid looking.
The dicks are too big.
I mean, even that's my flaw. It's like a bad.
Even little Garrett has too big of a dick.
Little Garrett.
All right, so you lose
Click like a
phase,
monkey
perfect
tail.
rep.
Should break you.
Hey, insult.
She gonna break you in half.
Take an example with the gang member.
So if we do, so it's gang trouble or questioning. For that one, those are two different options. So for gang trouble, one of your gangs, we could lose rep for that one. Or for questioning, we make a fortune roll, to see how much they talk.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Or we pay the blue coats off with 2 coins.
Ain't happening.
No.
So gang trouble or questioning.
Questioning seems pretty easy.
Don't we have like a walker now too?
No.
No, we did. No.
And you
Just
don't know
the
how
same.
to use it, right?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we either
All right.
Deputy Biter walks around.
lose
and-
face forfeit rep equal to your tier plus
like,
1.
So that would remove all of your rep.
Make an example of one of the gang members, or face reprisals from the wrong party.
It's like Rick and Morty wearing the dog.
So you guys have a choice here. Do you want the blue coats to grab one of your guys' NPCs and basically put the question to them?
beat plot out of him.
Yeah. Or do you want to have the cohorts, basically the blue coats, they retaliate, and they retaliate against your cohorts.
I think snatching one of the cohorts makes sense, and I think it should
Yeah.
be random.
like do the questioning thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like
like
that.
1 through 6, or 1 through 5 would be one of the ones we played, and 6 would be Mabel.
Mabel. Yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
Somebody roll
Yep.
Oh,
So
2.
1, 2.
So Big Garrett.
somebody
Big-
snatched.
Well,
Big
wait.
Garrett.
How we
That's my
counting?
boy.
Wait, I'm Mabel, so I'm 6.
So that make him
1, 2.
Ah, Worth.
Worth makes sense. Worth has a parole officer that was there.
Yeah.
And you killed the parole
Oh,
officer,
that's-
did you?
Did you kill her?
Beat her.
No,
Oh.
she like about
I
four
failed
balls
my
off.
roll.
He almost died from his balls.
Dude,
No,
I
it
mean,
makes
you know,
sense.
you have the blue coats, which are bad, and then you have the
Just stapling his
inspectors, which
nuts.
you don't want to
Yeah,
mess with.
no.
But the parole officers, oh fuck, nobody breaks parole.
Well, I say, and Wayne's character right now is busy putting on a Disney show, Balls on Ice.
I mean, after seeing what happened to his character, I wouldn't fuck with parole officers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the thing. It's like that's why Booker is out of jail.
We should all just play the parole
He doesn't
officers.
fuck with his parole officer.
Alright, on a 1 to 3, we get plus 2 heat. On a 4 or 5, we get plus 1 heat.
So basically,
On a 6, he didn't speak at all.
yeah. So
Oh.
so basically, he's got to get a 6 not to
2.
talk. All right. So
He plus 2 heat.
he talked.
Motherfucker.
Shit, we've got really high heat now.
Motherfucker.
Huh?
Well, we
We'll have to take some time to pay it down.
Who was that? Worth.
Worth.
Worthless. Motherfucker. Who the fuck is talking?
This is why Mabel doesn't respect him.
Oh shit.
What's a real man?
So downtime.
Real mans don't
All right.
fucking rat.
Downtime's when we deal with heat.
Yeah.
Rat.
Now remember, Worth didn't just like crack because they gave him a cigarette and said you'd be a
Put a
good boy.
cigarette out on his nutsack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they. That was an unpleasant show of force upon his anus. So. All right. So when you're at liberty between scores, remember you guys have a couple months now, or a month. I will say a month on that. When you're at liberty between scores, find some respite from peril. You may pursue 2 downtime activities from the list below. You also recover all of your armor uses.
Yay.
During downtime, you may perform additional activities from the list by spending 1 coin or 1 rep. I will say that if you want to spend a rep or gang coin, there has to kind of be a consensus, or you've got to tell me how you're stealing along with everyone else from Uncle Treacle. You can also have your own personal coin.
I would never steal from Uncle Treacle.
You my
Yeah.
boy. You my boy, Blue. Thanks,
For-
Dad. I mean, Unc.
For any downtime roll, add plus 1d to the roll if you get help from a friend or contact. So that's those friends you have. So like if you have a physiker and you're healing, you can say, okay, you just say it. You just say I'm using it. I will say that when things get, if you use contacts, to me that puts them on the chessboard, right? For me to do something, maybe I will do something, maybe I won't. If you don't use them, they're out of sight, out of mind for me. Let's see here. After the roll, you may increase the result. You may increase the result. How do you read this shit? I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah, okay, all right. So I'll go ahead and go first. So I'll start by trying to get some. I'm going to indulge the device to try and get. No, wait, the stress. What? I have to work off the stress, right, by going into my vice.
Yep.
That
You don't have to until you have a trauma.
Right.
But it's a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You're going to have a problem because you have a trauma. That Mike.
I don't know.
Trauma. That means that say you don't have any stress, you're totally fine. You still have to indulge your vice, or if you don't, bad things can happen.
Right.
You
Okay.
take
But do I
stress equal
still?
to your trauma.
Okay.
If you can't indulge your vice.
Gotcha.
Because now you're an addict.
But I do. But even if I have a trauma, I can still reduce my stress.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my first one of my two actions, I'm going to do the vice of faith, 6, which is exactly what I had in stress. So
that's
Wow, nice.
straight clean sheet. Okay. So for my second one.
I did the same for my first. I'm left with 1 stress.
As tempting as it is
I
to
have one
do
stress
some
on
kind
it.
of personal things,
Which I'm going to mark it.
Yeah, do personal things, man. And
yeah, but doesn't
never,
our heat get kind of bad?
never feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Super high.
Never feel guilty for doing the personal stuff because that makes the characters interesting. And the heat, yeah, your guy's heat is bad, but you haven't gone into a wanted level yet.
Yep. We didn't get
How
enough
far are we?
coin for us to be
You're
paid,
very
right?
close.
2. Then yeah, I'm going to do something to work off heat.
Yeah.
So okay, so I just roll a die. And,
You are 2 away from getting a wanted level.
all right. So say how you reduce the heat. I'm part of a cult that now I'm not in control of this, but pervades society. Plus, on top of that, Booker and Viter are now deputized.
Right.
So we're pulling some purse strings, pulling some heartstrings, doing whatever we have to, because once again, it's
You're changing the narrative.
yeah, exactly. Because
We were targeted.
Proust is a major part of a conspiracy, a huge
So
conspiracy.
by the way,
It
if-
says roll an action. So does that... Because you can get a crit on this, and you wouldn't get a crit.
so our actions, no,
there's attributes and
and
actions.
the attributes.
Yeah.
So actions are the hunt, consort, finesse, that sort of thing. They're the horizontal. Attributes are the
sway.
vertical.
I'll go with study.
Before you roll, real quick, if anyone has a friend guy on their sheet that is an ink rake, you can use them to help reduce heat because an ink rake is a reporter. That's their slang term for reporter.
Nah, I got a bunch of fighting shit.
Right.
I have an
Murderers,
extortionist.
yeah.
And a,
Oh yeah, what about extortion?
Yeah, extortion's great.
Yeah, we got extortionists. Yeah,
I have a blood dealer.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is. But
I don't know. She gets me my drugs.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go for I'm going to use study to basically the conspiracy is going to be eyeballing and investigating people, looking for who we can bribe, who we can blackmail,
Sure.
to just try and confuse the situation. Okay, so I assume I take the highest of them, so we just lost 5 heat. Wait, how does this
No,
work?
no.
Am I doing this wrong?
there's a chart on
Oh, I'm
here.
sorry.
You
I
got
rolled
5 heat,
5.
just
We
2
rolled
heat.
2 heat. I'm sorry. We lost 2 heat.
Yeah. If you crit that, we would have
Okay.
set 5.
Okay, what's our heat at now?
Should be 3.
Nope. 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Is anyone else planning on reducing heat?
The one thing I would ask is just
I'm opening up my gym.
out
Fuck
of
that.
out
I'm-
of character fairness, if we can agree to rotate from game to game who falls on the grenades.
Oh, yeah, I usually do, but
So you and I are kind of.
Also,
One of my special abilities is geared towards reducing heat.
don't forget.
Oh, would you be better equipped to do it than I am?
I mean, no. I mean, I can't do it by myself. So I was going to do it again. this
Okay.
time.
Okay. All right.
So, also remember I think some of you have harms. You hit a trauma, all of your stress gets reduced to 0, all of your harms and injuries go away.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. But you are also psychologically damaged now.
Yay.
I thought everyone else resisted their harms.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Well, I had
Even though it
armor
actually
on.
took them.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I never got hit
You never got hit.
because the grenade had everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used my armor.
So I'm going to reduce stress by indulging my vice. 1. So starting next session, I'm going to be a little leery about using stress.
You can reduce stress. You can indulge vice multiple times.
Yeah, so you can do it a second time if you're in a bad way.
Yeah, because that puts me at 6 stress to start.
Yeah, you're in a bad way, man. Do it again.
So,
Plus, you don't have to risk overindulgence because the highest you can roll is a
right,
6.
I'll do it again. So then I guess we're just going to have to live with some heat unless somebody else does it. 2.
Okay, that's better.
Some heat's gone
Now,
bad.
um,
I mean, it's not good.
You can indulge in vices multiple times.
yeah.
Oh wait,
You
no,
get
that
two
takes, you
actions.
get 2 actions. That
Yeah.
counts. Okay.
So you just change
And
the
you
same
can
one.
spend
I
money.
rolled.
It's
I
a
rolled
risk
early. I
because
rolled
if
a
you
5.
But yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you
Okay.
roll
So
over,
also, what's
yeah.
your vice?
then
Oh,
you
it's
My
would
vice is the food and
overindulge
drink.
Do you
and
have
badly
a
count.
friend?
Oh.
What is your friend?
My friend is a servant, Jenna.
So you have a friend that helps you with that.
Yeah.
So you can get another if for any downtime roll, add plus 1d to the roll if you get help from a friend or contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Chad, my clock. Find the rollers.
Oh, nice.
All right, please.
Yeah, I only need one for my
Right.
my gym open.
So on the first roll, I rolled
I know
a
where
1
the roller
and
face is
a
now.
5. So I took.
Well,
So
then
I was
we're
at
going in
7.
there, we're fucking.
So okay, you're
Yeah.
at 7
that
and
who
you
just
roll.
did
I rolled a
sometimes.
1 and a 5.
yeah,
The
the house.
So you roll
the
a
rollers
well. Okay,
were
so that
the
doesn't.
ones at the house.
This is a prepare
Before
vice.
this.
Roll dice to
Oh,
equal to your
he wasn't
lowest
there.
attribute.
No, he wasn't
You
there
had
for it.
2.
That was the thing.
Clear stress equal to your highest die result. So you cleared 5.
Right. So then I don't have to roll it twice.
Right.
Okay. So then I will then use
They-
consort
they fucked
to
up the whorehouse
reduce heat.
sequence.
Because I started
Yeah,
at
and
7, reduced 5, and then
Okay.
so now I'm at 2 stress to start.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to roll again for your vice because you're going to probably go over two.
Overindulge, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce heat. You say how you reduce heat. I'm going to use consort.
Yeah.
So I'm like hanging out.
Right. Yeah. You're working your contacts.
I'm
and stuff.
partying,
Grease and palms.
greasing palms. And now I get
Butt grease.
+1 result to the result level when I reduce heat. So I roll these 2
Yep.
and +1.
Right.
Okay.
6, 7.
6
Yep.
+1, 7. 7 heat
Yep.
reduced.
So no, that reduces 3 heat.
Oh, 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So reduce 3 heat.
Hell yeah. We're basically back to where we were, so we only gained 1 heat.
Yeah, and that's the thing I like about the heat too is that you gain all this heat, and then you roll the entanglements based on that heat. Then you reduce it, so you don't do this weasel thing of look at all the heat. Well, fuck it, everybody just saps it down to nothing, and then we roll entanglements.
We are definitely going to need another sheet. Because anytime I erase, it's like erasing.
I'm on
I'm
a
getting the
long-term
same
project.
thing, yeah. But
Ooh, that was a poo-poo roll. Poo-poo. 2. So I got 1 off my long-term project. I'm in a long-term project again.
Alexander Hayden. Well, yeah, actually, you don't know where Alexander Hayden is.
All right, so that's
Yeah,
1.
I
that's
was going
why-
to say he's in the lab.
That
but-
is why I like the PDF
5
because
is
you're just
2, so
checking
that's
it
3
out.
total.
Yeah. I agree.
The other good way to do it is to have put them in like a sheet in the
The dry erase.
yeah.
Not bad.
Smart.
Not bad at all.
I do like doing that with character sheets.
So halfway there. So I've just been, working, studiously
Right.
on my under city maps.
Yeah.
And I realized too during the course of this game that before I do my player harpsichord, I'm going to have to come up with a flamethrower.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
if we're going to use the sewers and circumnavigate the city via the sewers, we're going to have a flamethrower for rats.
Absolutely. I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you have rat powder, by the way?
No reason.
That's what that is.
Rats love it too.
It's just ground up rats.
Reggie just went to blow off steam and went and boxed the shit out of somebody. I rolled a 5, so I lost 5 stress.
Okay, and Jack comes back to Uncle Treacle in this 2 months and basically lays out this whole thing of, where the roller's base is. Their hidden secret base.
And when I roll for, I don't even have to roll for this because I only need one more, right?
And in time,
For the
we'll know
Right, yeah.
what
Okay, so my gym's
tunnels get us there.
Yeah. So your gym's up.
Yeah.
What we do is
Which does not
we don't
count
act on that right away.
As the crew
Let's
gym.
No, it's
Yeah.
mine.
Set
Yeah,
up-
it's
It's
mine.
your gym. Yeah.
Areas around it, and then all at once just.
So I'll just put
And always remind me too, when you guys go out and do things, right? Now I'm putting this on you, right? Ask me where in the city we're doing this. Because all of the places in the city are labeled. And they all do things mechanically. It's not just, it looks like this and these weird people are here. They do stuff. Like Crow's Foot. The wealth is 2 dots. Security and safety is 1, so it's not safe at all. Criminal influence is at 4. Occult influence is 2. Years of murder have made this the most haunted of districts. Angry ghosts crave bloodshed here. You may make a devil's bargain for +1d for violent action, but the ghost will lash out too. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure it out. The docks. Operations against ships at port are considered hostile turf for the purpose of generating heat, but there's also good ones too.
That's cool.
Yeah, Night Market. And we our old game we did a lot of stuff in Night Market. They operated out of Night Market a lot. I actually really love Night Market. Night Market is the best place to trade illicit and arcane goods in the city, but the darker corners are full of strange horrors. You can take +1d to acquire an asset here at the cost of 2 stress. So, when you go into jobs in Night Market, you can basically say, okay, well, we need an armored coach, right? We have our goats, we have a carriage, but we want an armored carriage. And it's okay, well, I take 2 stress, and boom, and we got it.
So where were we for what we just did? I mean, we were in the sewers, but
We were going to say the sewers. We were where your guys' turf is, which I don't remember if I thought we defined that,
I don't know if
but
we
I
did.
don't know where it is. Or maybe, I know what I did is I asked you guys what turf you wanted your place to be in. I don't think I ever got an answer. So we're just going to say, yeah, it happened in the sewers, and you don't exactly know where you were at.
Okay.
Oh, certainly.
But I believe that the next game is going to be taking place around Coleridge, but we'll see. So
Rock Ridge.
that's all right. So anyway, that's the game. Does anybody have anything else? Wayne, are you starting a new project? Are you starting a new project?
Oh, no.
No, I used mine to finish up. I don't have a new one in mind yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah, I
had
can-
the dice to start a project
Yeah, I
yet.
can't start a new one. That's right.
Yeah. Remember, Dan, actually, Proust has coin, too.
Oh, that's true. I could
You can spend a coin to do an extra
Does
action.
so I know. Okay, coin can be used to buy off heat. Coin can be used for extra action. Is there any other use for coin? Like if I,
Absolutely.
because I'm curious
So-
what I don't want to blow the 2 coin and then
Right,
be like,
right.
oh crap, I could have gotten I don't know what.
Yeah. So here, on this part of the page here, it says coin, and there's 4 slots.
Yeah.
A scoundrel can only have 4 coin, and that's because you guys are terrible with money. You don't have real jobs, right? Even if Treacle handed you, if you stole 10 coins from Treacle like you usually do, at the end of the day,
That was Booker, not Proust.
yeah, at the end of the day, you Don't know what happened. You don't know where it went. You do know that you have some really high brandy and STD and a new coat.
Yeah.
And you only have 4 coins. Because what you do is you have your stash. You move the coin into your stash. And when you move your coin to your stash, that represents your standard of living. None of you have coin in your stash. And so what that means is you're living like in the basement of the candy shop or in a hostel or in a flop house. When you say, okay, the score is to go and infiltrate a high-class party. Oh, okay, well, I reach into my closet and I take out my tuxedo. Well, how many coin do you have in your stash? I don't have any. Well, guess what? You don't have a tuxedo. That's an asset, and you're going to have to roll or pay to get it. But if you had a whole bunch of coin, you could say, well, yeah, I go to my townhouse in the nice area of town, and I have my invitation already waiting.
So if I can spend the coin immediately to buy down heat or to give myself actions, or I can stash it,
and raise your standard of living, which very few people I have played with stash their money. Because it is such a long-term conceptual thing. Everybody has in their mind of, yeah, I'm a scoundrel and money is just pouring off of me because I'm a rich drug dealer or whatever. And that's not the case. Yeah. You guys are fucking bums and no one knows who you are. And you're building yourself up.
Yeah, I'm one of my old characters. I remember I did start doing some of the stash. But that's not going to be Jack's thing. He's not about that.
That's going to be
Also, your characters, you know how they get stressed and they get traumas and stuff? If you get 4 traumas, that does not mean your character's dead. That just means they're so broken they can't be a criminal anymore. They convert over to an NPC, and then what I do is I look at how much money that NPC has in their stash. There's a chart in the book that basically says, if there's no money in the stash, you are a broken, insane bum in the gutter covered in piss and shit. If you have a bunch of stuff in your stash, you're like, well, you're a retired former gang member. Yeah, you've seen some shit, but, you got a lady in each arm, and you're just not about the life anymore.
I went legit.
You went legit.
I remember which character I did that on the... it was the first game you ran, because she was running the whorehouse and getting... For downtime actions, I was getting money.
Yeah.
Working the business, getting money.
Yeah.
And then putting it into the...
That was my question. So because I have this gym now, because I can earn a coin with that, how do I do that? Do I do that during downtime?
You do it during downtime. So basically what I'm going to do is you tell me you have a project of opening your gym, which you do. Then you have a project which is a much smaller, simpler clock, which is when it fills up, then you get a coin. And so we can also negotiate to kind of like, if you say, well, I kind of want, so I made a club. Right? It's a bar. It's a dive bar. And I do the project clock and I get a coin out of my coin. Say, well, I want to put some time and money into this. And I want to make it a nice club where I earn more money. It's like, okay, cool. Then we negotiate about raising the tier of the bar into like a club, and then that's a project, and then maybe we'll see about the project clock having more slices in it, but when it fills up, then you get more money and that sort of thing. We can talk about it. Whatever works.
Yeah, I definitely find that when a character has a side business like that, you end up having more coins to either do actions or start putting it in the stash.
Yeah. I highly, highly recommend everybody start a side business. Everybody connect with your cohort, like you guys have with your individuals, guys. Have your guys get individual cohorts for yourselves, which are always fun, and start a side business. The players who have the side businesses, it turns into tons of opportunity. It generates NPCs. It generates coin for you guys. It generates locations for you guys to go to. We ran several sessions out of the whorehouse. Tons of NPCs with it. Dawn's character, she had a bar and a cohort, and it just existed out of that. It was great. And the people who didn't, or the people who did and didn't do anything with them, we're like, well, why is everybody getting all this other stuff? Like, well, because they're playing the fucking game. Yeah. That's why they're getting the stuff.
Because they made a different decision than you did.
Yeah. It's like, well, I think I should get stuff. Like, no, I don't think you should get stuff.
It's not all about the score. It's about
how
you establishing.
If you want those things, get those things.
Yeah. And if you don't care about it, that's cool too.
And just don't bitch to me about it because I will be brutally.
No, I'm all
honest.
about this because my whole plan was to have, if you remember, I'm gonna have little street scamps
Yep.
trained out of the.
And you
Little, like Hercules, little kid Hercules and shit.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna have little badasses running
Right.
around beating shit up, stealing money.
It's like junior boxing ring, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also train adults. That's where the money comes from.
Right,
But for the kids, they're gonna beat the shit out of you.
All the grooming you're doing.
That's right.
I'm showing them how to make a living
Yeah.
By beating people's
the
ass.
best way I know how.
Yeah.
if somebody's gonna groom these kids, they're getting a beat down from the kids.
Yeah, I don't think I like with Jack. I'm
Well,
not really interested with this character. I want to focus more on the character's growth eventually over time.
yeah.
And I love this idea that Reggie is trying to save him.
Yeah.
No, my whole plan, so I probably will save coin as much as I can. My plan is, because I know you're shit with your money, I'm saving for both of us, or even all three of us,
Yeah.
because I don't know how Alex is going to handle his money.
Right.
Probably some gadgets or some shit.
Money is just shit that falls out of his hands.
Yeah.
No, I actually, I
Look at all this space. That's like a whole thing.
No, I very much
Or, hey, hold on.
want money.
Actually, maybe it's because when you come back, I thought you were gone. And when you come back, I'm like, no, I have to
Just
make sure that
remember-
we can retire. Like,
With my first character, the Whisper, I had two businesses. One of them, she would go out and she would call down ghosts and then get paid to get rid of the ghosts.
Right.
nice. Well, the Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah.
conspiracy, right?
She had that scam going of
Yeah.
she would call them in and then come in and deal with the situation and get paid for dealing with it.
It also helps for you. It helps me for you guys to have businesses and the NPCs around them because it builds the world and also like the engagement or the entanglement roles. You know how we're saying, well, what NPC do we use? Well, it's like I could say, okay, well, how about a third option? How about the blue coats bust up the gym?
Oh,
They just roll in and they fucking toss the place. You guys lose one coin to build it up, and maybe you take a rep hit.
They thought Big Garrett was a big deal? Mm-mm.
Well,
That's what we had for one of the entanglements early
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
was the place Jack goes got hit,
Yeah.
and then he spent his money because he felt guilty about it.
Yeah.
I like
Alright.
the idea of rolling in there and just both of us taking rage punches and beating the shit out of him.
Yep. You
Yeah,
wake up like on a beach covered in chocolate. Oh my god! It sounded like he sneezed.
Was that his ass?
No, he's a belt.
That was a belt.
I thought he
ever
sneezed
seen-
out of his
Have you ever
ass.
seen like the memes of the guys doing what they call them like dinosaur growls or whatever, where it's like the super deep
Yeah.
belches and they like sit there and go, "Rawr!" and like scare people around them. That's what that sounded
I
like.
100% thought that was his ass.
Yeah.
Well,
Does anybody else have any questions or
I have
comments?
some offline questions,
Yeah.
but
I think
we don't need to deal with
You
that.
guys did great. I love your characters. I love where the game's going. So yeah, I hope you guys like a train. So
Cool. I punched out of a ghost
All right.
dimension.
We'll catch y'all next time.